Yeah, true story. Hey, there's two people waiting. I'm hitting go live,
Oh,
and we're live.
I'm pretty sure they're both me.
Yeah, but I think we're live now. 7 seconds.
Oh.
Strong. Uh-oh.
No.
I think we're good.
I need to mute the stream on my end.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay. So, well, I just forgot. I forgot it's my show, except that you're doing all the hard work. But yeah. Welcome to Audio Discourse, Season 2, Episode 10. Just checking up with Tyler again.
Cheers.
But before you check out, are you drinking that? Are you drinking that whatever? So what are you drinking right now?
The Bin Riak. I'm probably butchering that name. Smoky 12 Bin Riak. But it's a blend, so it's just a Scotch blend. But it's a fun one. Speyside. That's what it is. Speyside single malt Scotch whiskey, but it's a blend of Speyside.
Oh, what's Speyside? I don't think that's how you pronounce it.
How do you pronounce it?
I don't know.
You know what? I don't know.
Scotch.
3 cask cherry fruit. No, this isn't a blend. I don't think actually.
It isn't. It's single malt.
It's a Speyside single malt. I was completely wrong.
So it should tell you the distillery, right?
Yeah. So it is. It's the Bin Riak Distillery, established in 1898. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Single malt. That's but not a single barrel. So. There you go. Well, at least you get points for single malt. I'm proud of you, Tyler.
Hey.
As for me, I am drinking my usual. Well, not my usual actually. My one of my first whiskey that I ever had, the Kalila 12.
Ooh.
So we're doing a 12-year. Yeah, it's 12. So if anybody who doesn't know what Kalila is, it's when you drink Johnny Walker Blue, it is the smokiness comes from Kalila. So they blend the Kalila into the Johnny Walker Blue. I think they blend the Kalila 10 into the Johnny Walker Blue to give that smokiness, and that's what that is.
Yeah, it looks like a Lagavulin. Lagavulin?
A Lagavulin?
Yeah, like
that's what I usually drink. I just been doing that too much.
Yeah, I have the Nick Offerman version up behind me.
Oh, I think you told me about that last time.
It's actually pretty good for what it is. I was impressed by it. Kind of is a nice balance of like the younger Lagavulin and the older one. So it's like a nice.
Is it a blend or is it a single malt?
I think it's a single malt. It's just the way that it's done. I can go grab it, but I don't know. I think it's well done. I think it was just it's not quite as overpowering with the peat. It has a little more of the fruit forwardness that you kind of get on the back end of the stronger 16.
So obviously they had that barrel. They have all those barrels filled before they know what they're gonna name it as, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So okay. So this is gonna be a great segue because I'm glad you bring it up.
Mm-hmm.
And did you think that like Lagavulin just went like, hey, Nick Offerman, or that's not his last name. What is the name that you play on the?
Oh, Ron Swanson.
Ron Swanson, right? So like, hey, Ron.
Hey, Ron.
Do you want us to name a whiskey after you to help us sell this whiskey? And he goes like, sure, yeah, because like he plays that character, right?
Yeah, I think that's what happened.
Yeah, and then they have that episode of Parks and Rec, right? I think, and then he went to Lagavulin and he tasted the whiskey, right? And it's great because like, that's like, and so like, did you think that? So obviously they didn't know what they're gonna name that whiskey.
Correct.
Did you think that they used Ron to sell that whiskey?
I think so. I think what happened though. I think, I didn't research it. I don't know, but like, yeah, it's a brand. But I think they probably invited him there, and because supposedly he did pick that barrel for this, right? Like supposedly he chose that specific barrels for this, supposedly. So I think I think you have it right. I just think he also probably had a multitude of different ones, and then he picked...
obviously they didn't plan this. Obviously they didn't say, we're going to do this the Ron Swanson whiskey 10 years ago or 8 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Like that's like even before Parks and Rec is even a thing, right?
Well, and it's an 11-year. I think it's an 11-year.
It's an 11-year?
Yeah, so it's an 11-year. So it's basically what they did was they said, here's our 11-year barrels, or here's our barrels from... What do they have? They do like an 8 or a 7-year, and then they do the... is it a 12 and then 16 and then an 18?
Right.
I think. So they probably were like,
yeah.
Here's our barrels in between. Pick one. Let's go.
So he just picked whatever he liked, and then they just bottle it and call it the Nick Offerman edition, right?
Which was the 11. He picked the 11-year strength or aging one, and then that's the one that they went with.
And it's not okay. So I never had it because I don't believe in like
it's mild.
I mean like it's not Lagavulin, right? You had the 16 before, right?
I've had the 16. I've had. And it's kind of like I want to say it's between. It does kind of blend the two. Yeah, it's not as peaty as the 16. It has just a nice. It's kind of more balanced of the ones I've had.
But, I mean, sure, if you want to call it balance. I call it lack of character.
Well, no, because the character is still there. It's just the peatiness is not as peaty. I think that's the overall biggest takeaway, I would say.
When you're drinking Isla whiskey, you don't want peaty.
Well, no, you do, but I mean, it's a balance.
This is a great segue. So, this is what's actually going to be the second topic. But since you brought up Nick Offerman,
okay.
What are your thoughts on like collaboration IEMs?
I actually have some
because you got the HPB one, right?
Yeah, I just got the KZ one. I think the KZ.
Yeah, we're not here to promote him, so yeah, don't.
Yeah, but yeah, as far as collaborations go, I mean, what's a collaboration? Like, what does that actually entail? Like, I don't know. I mean, I've seen like all the Critical ones. I've seen.
No. That's what it is, right? Like, the KZ, AX, HPB, and whatever you want to call it, like wife beater.
So, if it's like that, like right, like if it's like a barrel pick, like if you're picking a barrel like that Nick Offerman thing, are they just given some frequency response ranges and go, yeah, that's the one I like, and then they go, or do they have to go back and forth over a period of time of like tunings? Like, how does that work? I don't know. That seems kind of interesting to me.
That's like, so I don't want to like speculate.
I'm totally speculating. I have zero clue.
So am I, and I am going to speculate. That's when I say I don't want to speculate, so I'm going to speculate, right? Like, I don't think he's very like technically inclined when it comes to like IEMs or anything for that matters.
Are you talking about HPB?
HPB. So, yeah. I mean, like,
I think he's more of like the, like the enthusiast. Like he actually he goes by his ears. He doesn't really follow. I mean, he does the measurements. I mean, he does know how, right? So I mean, he does have that.
So does he just say like more bass, less trouble?
He does like to fish. He loves to fish. Let's do it.
Does he just say more bass?
Just more bass. More that fish. I slap at the bass.
I slap the bass. Does he just say more bass and less trouble, or like, and then they send him another unit, and they just like, no, I want it like this, and they just send him a graph?
Maybe.
Or does he say, oh, here, I have a curve, and just tune it as close to that as you can?
To me, if they were going to do it, to me, the proper way would be that last option, where he has a curve already and says, tune it to this curve that's my curve, like the Android curve, aka the Harman curve.
But like, so you're not really that involved then, right? I feel like
I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't. You'd have to ask him.
I don't think I want to ask him.
Or we could ask Kryn. I mean, Kryn's pretty. He's more accessible, I would say.
Well, I mean, I did like once before, like the very first episode of Audio Discourse was me shitting on him, like me giving him shit about his first collaboration IEM.
That's fair,
right?
What was his response? Did he say he went back and forth with like different variations?
Well, no, the thing is that Fearless is with what his collaborator was the first time around that made Dawn, is that they have this thing, right? They have this thing like a little contraption. Retails for $14,000. What it is that is a box that's connected to an IEM. It has like 10 knobs that you can adjust the crossover value of those each individual BA drivers. Therefore, you can physically tune the IEM with those knobs, and then
that makes sense.
And then you send them those values, and then they can try to produce an IEM
from those values
based on the crossover value that you have set.
God, that sounds really like not
it sounds
sketchy.
really fancy, right?
And sounds really fancy, but it sounds dangerous. Like, because if you don't know what you're doing and you're just like, woo, you know,
well, he
like,
knows what he's doing, right? First of all, and he has a measurement rig, so like, what you can do is just like adjust those crossover values, you measure them, and see if that's to your preference, and you just record that, right?
That's fair.
But the problem is that little contraption is 10BA. His collaboration came out to be 6BA 2 EST. So where did that came from?
Oh yeah. Like how do you?
I had an argument with him about, well, you got the 10BA, you tuned it, you said you like it, and you got back to them, and he claimed that Fearless couldn't reproduce what he did, like in terms of like a mass quantity.
I mean, I don't.
So like tolerance isn't there apparently, right? Well, there's like driver selection, all that stuff, and tolerance. Like that's what he chugged it up to. So they have to
make it work with what they think is right
with some other drivers, which funny enough is a retune. It's the same driver configuration of their old hybrid. So I gave him shit about, so are you just making a new IEM, or did they just retune one of their
old off the shelves
old IEMs? And it's like, is it a new IEM or is it a retuned Lancelot? And that's what I gave him shit about. And in the beginning, he was like, I don't know, but it sounds like my preference curve.
Oh, that's not a good
answer. But the problem is that, right?
Yeah.
I always credit myself to be a clairvoyant, because every single one of his IEM that came out after that is a retuned version of an existing IEM.
That could be what it is. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how that.
I mean, I'm not gonna say that I didn't, but I just kind of called it. I mean, it's kind of late. I mean, I feel like it's lazy.
Well, I mean, it's also. I mean, it makes sense from a business point of view. I mean, like I said,
from a business point of view, I'm not in it to make money. I'm the consumer, right?
It's true. I mean, I don't know. That could be what it is, and they could just be taking those and repurposing them to be a better tuned version of those with his name on it. Like, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, it makes
That's lazy, isn't it? That's just lazy marketing.
I wouldn't necessarily call it lazy marketing. It's more, I would say, engineering side of the house. Because if you wanted to make it like a proper this and this married together, you start from scratch, right? Wouldn't you?
Right. Maybe? That's too hard.
Yeah, why recreate the wheel if you already have something ready to go that you can just tune? I mean,
well, because like, if you have the Nick Offerman edition of Lagavulin, he's not gonna wait 10 years to release his whiskey. Like Nick Offerman isn't right. Nick Offerman is gonna be like, I want half sherry and half oak barrels, and you have to be double oaks. Single barrel,
starting now.
Yeah, starting now, and I'll see you in 11 years, right?
Yeah,
and that's kind of like, in a whiskey production standpoint, like nobody's gonna wait 11 years.
Yeah, it's he could not even be a deal anymore. Like the glory of that would be gone. Like
So they just like say, here, pick up a barrel, and we'll just name it after you. It'd be haha hilarious,
and
right?
you picked it. Well, this is the Nick Offerman version because it's the barrel or the age statement and flavor profile you liked. Mm-hmm. That makes sense to me. Which that's probably what they're doing with these things as well. I mean, when you think about that in that sense, that makes sense. In that sense, it's appropriate in the terms of the IEMs and discussing like how
No, it isn't, because it doesn't take 10 years to make an IEM.
That's also fair. I mean, they are cranked out pretty quick.
Yeah, like you're dealing with Chi-Fi, so like you're pretty much just retuning an IEM, right? So and obviously, like, I don't know the technical side of things. I'm sure it's easier to retune something than to make something from scratch.
What was Ant's favorite tin hi-fi? Was it the T1 or the T2?
I have no idea.
Because they could do that with him. The Ant Droid.
They would never.
XT. Yeah,
like
fair.
I feel like you have to be big enough to like collaborate.
Well, I mean, let's be real. I mean, he hit 100,000 YouTuber view or subscribers, and what was that, like 6 months to not even a year? Like, Kryn, and then he lost it. had to start over, but.
Oh, I mean, like he's always been big in the IEM world. I think.
Yeah, but I mean, he's been doing this for like 5+ years when you look at it, right? Like. So.
But I'm not like, it doesn't mean it's not lazy. I mean, like, no. I will never fault a man for trying to make money, because that's his job now.
Yeah.
So
I mean, at the end of the day.
Yeah. But at the same time, that's the same thing that I gave him shit about on his first collab. Kind of came true. It's just lazy tuning and just a retune of existing IEM, and he slapped his name on it, and it's lazy, right? And I'm not just criticizing him. There's HBB with a collaboration. While they are just retunes of the existing IEM, there's nothing really special about it aside from.
Well, I would say that's the special part, though. But I mean, that is the special part, though. It's like it's their version. It's kind of like the Nick Offerman thing, right? Like it's that's the special part. Like that's the part that people want. It's the part that has the person that they're following, and the person that they, that's what makes them special and unique. It's not necessarily
like gamer girls selling bathwater.
I wouldn't take it to that level, but I mean, I guess you could make that like leap. I guess like the association. Kryn bathwater coming soon. But I mean, like, I think that's the part that's cool, right? Like, because then you have, as far as a consumer's point of view, like, you have that, right? Like, you trust what they have to say about their preferences and their tunings or what they like, right? So if you align with that and you like what their content is, it makes sense for people to want something tuned by them. So it doesn't really matter where that IEM came from. And you can call it lazy, or you can call it like repurposing or what have you. But at the end of the day, it's still their tuning, right? Like, I don't know what that means, but that's what it is, right?
Sure, I guess, but like, it's not like I feel like in the company side, it's lazy on their part because they
Well, and then how much say does the actual like Kryn or HPB even have in that too, right? Like, how much of it is them? Like that's probably cool as heck, right? Like, you get to make your own IEM, your name's on it.
They got a bunch of them out. There's like 3 HPB collaborations. There's like 5 critical IEMs now, right? So like I mean, like, it's not their first
rodeo or whatnot.
Yeah, and I feel like it's just I feel insulted that Chinese manufacturers would care about North American buyers.
Well, that's a big market. It's a big, I mean, it's not as big of a market potentially as like South, like as far as China and like
compared to the domestic market, it isn't.
Yeah, it's not.
Right. So obviously they're not selling that thing domestically because nobody knows. Well, for the most part, nobody knows who Critical or HBB is, right?
You don't think so?
I know they don't.
Huh. Well, I mean,
right? But if I would have you know what? If I would have tell every Chinese person who HBB is, they probably wouldn't buy his IEM.
I don't know, man. But I was actually having a discussion with somebody else about this kind of similar thing, and not the IEM thing, but more like knowing somebody, right? Like, I'm a drop in the bucket. Like, I'm barely a drop in the bucket when it comes to like being known. But then you get someone like Kryn, or you get someone like Josh Valor, or you get someone like some of these other folks like that, and even them, though, when you think about it, right, in the grand scheme of things, they have 100,000 followers. That's not that many people in the grand scheme of
in the audio world.
Yeah, in the audio world it is, yes. But as far as like in the grand scheme of like even audio people that like audio, though, it's not even that big of a you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, right? Because you get speaker world type people, and when I say speaker world, I mean like the speaker hobby. Then you dive into like
boomers.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, it's at the end of the day, it's always going to be like the limited market. But that being said, let's say Hawaii Bad Boy or Critical, they have those 100,000, or I don't know how many followers HBV has, but like, that's still almost like guaranteed. Probably what 25 to 50% of their followers will probably buy those IEMs. That's a pretty big chunk of money for.
Yeah, sure, of course. I mean, the companies wouldn't make them if they don't make money, right? It's that, like, money is the bottom line. If they don't think it will make money, they wouldn't do this collab. I'm just saying it's kind of lazy. Like, you're using this other person, no matter who it is, right, to maybe just put their name on it at the minimum, at most is to just use that little fearless contraption that I talk about, right? So you have both ends of the spectrum already. Yeah. So I assume somewhere in between as always, but they everybody have admitted that it's a retune of a current model. So how much tuning do you have?
How much power of that tuning do you have?
Do you really have in terms of that, right? So like, I mean, like I don't know what the physical or mechanical limitation of a driver, but I've said if the components are the same, like you're not getting away with, a lot of technical abilities. Like it's not gonna get there.
Yeah, so, you're still constrained with those drivers, right? With over those.
Yeah, you have physical but it's whatever.
But that's part of it, right? That's their tuning for that specific IEM. So I mean, I think even Critical. I don't really. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I don't really watch a lot of other YouTubers. I just don't have time. But like, I think I did see something or a comment from him where Crin was talking about that, where it's like, one of the cheaper ones that he was that had his name on it, where he was like, oh, this is to my tuning for this IEM, where it's not exact, it's like he was like, it was as good as it would get for that IEM with his tuning.
So yeah, the KZ. I
think that's what it was, like the cheapest one.
DEX Pro.
Yeah, something like that.
Was tuned by Critical, but then like they didn't put his name on it, and then it sold, I guess, okay, and then they put his name on it and start selling it again. I mean, like, come on, yeah. There's no way that it isn't like a fucking. And they go like, oh, we're just testing it out without putting my name on it, and then we decide to put my name on it. I was like, well, you're just trying to sell the same thing twice. That's what you're trying to do.
Yeah, that's fair.
And that, like, you can't, like, there's, I don't know, like, I don't think there's any way to get around that. You're just trying to sell the same shit twice, right? I mean, like, yeah. I mean, props on KZ. They figure out to sell the same shit twice. It's great. Like, great for them, right? But like, are you really fooling anybody when it like just like, oh, we're not gonna put my name on it because I don't want to associate myself with this IEM, right? And then you see it, I was like, oh well, it did pretty well, so like let's put your name on it and do a second release. I'm like,
yeah,
okay, I guess. I mean, the people who had it's literally the same thing, just with a different like
different tuning. Yeah. Or is it different? It's not the same tuning.
Yeah. It's just same tuning, same everything. So like
well, that's just limited edition stuff, right? At that point, like I mean, at that point, it's just you're buying a limited edition thing, which we all know. I don't know. Like to me, that's you're buying it for that graphic. It's not you're not buying it for the performance. You're buying it for that graphic.
Sure, but like, wouldn't the people who already bought the IEM before feel like they kind of left out, even though it's the same thing, right?
Maybe. I mean, yeah. I mean, there's always going to be that. I mean, at the end of the day, there's always going to be. That's like kind of like buying a 2021 car, and then 3 months later, the 22 comes out earlier than expected, and you're like, ah!
Oh no! Like when the car came out, there's like a limited edition, right? It always came out at the same time as the. You see, the thing is that limited edition always comes out first.
First, yeah.
In any product, product. So like you say, oh, we're selling this limited edition, and then once it's sold out, like a certain number, like 500 or 50 or whatever,
then it goes to the baseline. Whatever.
You go to the regular edition, and they always cost the same, right? There's nothing wrong with they're both the same car except one has LE on it, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So like then you don't feel bad. It's like, oh, I can't buy a Toyota Camry 2022 LE because they all sold out, so I'll just buy the regular edition. It's literally the same car. One just have an LE badge on it. Sometimes they have different trim, whatever.
Yeah, different
it's
trim.
Whatever, right?
Yeah.
But then like, when you sell the better, not better, but like the fancier trim after the normal one, then people are like, well, I could have gotten the
if I would have just waited.
Yeah, with the Critical logo on it. Like, depend, like I don't know how much you value that, but whatever, right?
I guess it just depends on his audience, right? And like how, I mean, that's up to him and how, or not really even up to him, really, at the end of the day. I mean, it could be, but I mean, it's up to that manufacturer to say how much they're worth burning those people that did that, if that's even a factor for those people. Like, I
don't think about burning those people. It's like suckers.
I mean, there could be that too. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't. I mean, there's a lot of those things like that where it's.
I mean, if you buy KZ, I feel bad for you.
But here's the other thing, like the KZ stuff, it's not bad. I mean, when you look at the price performance of them, would I personally go out and buy a bunch of them? Probably not.
Oh, you shouldn't have said that. That just ruined your chance. Come on, man.
Well, but I mean, because I just wouldn't listen to them, dude. Like at the end of the day, right? I mean, outside of being like my impressions and getting my outside of that, like I I personally have gone to like I just don't. I think it's fun to listen to them and see what they are about and like those different variances and stuff. But at the same time, at the end of the day, like I'm gonna listen to. I have it right here. Like I have found a preference, and it might not be everybody's, but I love my little. It's all rat's nest right now, but I have my Unique Melody Mest, and I'm using my Griffin to power them with the prettiest cable I've ever had. But like. I use the Mest V1 as like my primary IEM when I want to listen to IEMs.
Let's not talk about your preference because we all know that's awful.
Yeah, it's a bald white guy preference.
Well, you know what? Let's stop shit talking reviewer. That's bigger than us.
Yeah,
that's just bitter. That's just bitter talk.
I think it'd be more power to it.
No, you're awesome. Talking about. I'm super bitter that I don't get like a KZ collaboration.
I mean, it'd be cool, but I mean, like you already mentioned it, man. So you have to be a certain level before that even happens, and I'm sure you have to build up certain relationships.
I just hang out. I think the only how about this? I'm gonna ask you this, right? So you're a real reviewer now, real reviewer.
Real reviewer. I don't think my stuff is reviews. I think it's just me talking about my experiences with stuff. But
so would you collaborate with like another company? I'm gonna this is gonna come back to haunt you in another 5 years, by the way.
Probably not likely. Let's be real, dude. I'm not. But would I collaborate? Sure. I mean, I would. I think at the end of the day,
would you have some kind of standard? Like, let's say, like, okay, so
I would hope, like, until I get to that bridge and crossing it, like.
So you're like Justin from Amsterdam Sound. Is it Justin? I don't know what his name is.
Justin, yeah, from Amsterdam Sound.
Yeah, from Amsterdam Sound. What if it comes up to you, like, right? What if it comes up to Tyler? Would you like to like a Tyler amp?
I think it'd be cool, but at that point, like you were just saying, how much of it would be me? Because I'm not a technical. I'm definitively not a technical person.
Right. Exactly. Like, so what is the point? Like, oh, I want the tubes to be bigger.
Yeah, like I mean, to me, it'd be like that one sounds good. Like that would be my level of.
Like, no, like, so you can put like bunch of like so. What if you release a tube set? Like, do you believe in tube rolling? Obviously, you like big tubes, right?
You know, it's funny. I'm actually not a big fan of 300Bs. Like, I actually like the KT88s or like the other ones a little bit better. I think there's a 2A3 or something like that. One of those. But anyways,
I'm gonna stop you right here. I'm not a boomer. I hate tube amps. So what is this, right? So what is that amp that you have right now? Like you did that nice review for that's like $6,000.
The Agartha. The Agartha.
Agartha 2, right?
Yeah.
So it comes with like what, 5 tubes, right?
4.
4.
So you got the 300Bs, and then you got a 12AX7 and then a 5.
So obviously you can tube roll with like different tubes, right?
Yeah.
So what if you just give you like a fucking random set of tubes and say, here, Tyler, play with it. And if you find like a configuration that you love the most, I'm gonna sell a Tyler tube set.
Oh, dude, I'd be the worst person for that, dude. No, I mean for real, like. I mean,
that's your hands-on, right? So it's like, oh, I like this combination, right?
Yeah.
And he just looks at you like you're retarded.
Probably what would happen. He'd be like,
no. Would you do it? Like, if hey, here, Tyler, play with all these tubes and find a combination that you like, since you like tube rolling, you know, because you're a boomer.
Yeah, why not? Like, I think it'd be fun.
Tyler pack for like, you know, extra $200 that you can add onto your Agartha or whatever.
Yeah, I'm all for people laughing at me for my ignorance.
Well, no,
and
like
stuff,
I mean, like, so like what I'm getting at is like, what's your baseline of involvement if you were gonna go into collab?
My baseline of a collaboration would be that I want to make sure it's not snake oil. I want to make sure it's an honest product. I want to make sure it's, you know what I mean? Like
snake oil.
You know, like I want to make sure it's an honest product.
Snake oil. It's not honest.
But I mean, like that would be my collaboration level, though. Like I just want to make sure that it would be a real product that would be going out to people and not something.
Well, yeah, but it's like, let's say you're making an audio product, like headphones or IEM or whatever. Like, what's your baseline of involvement? Like, you would say, oh, you know, obviously you're not gonna say, oh, just slap my name on it. I don't care. I
think that I would want to hear it a couple times and hear all the different tunings, for instance. Like if it was a tuning thing,
like whatever they have for you.
Yeah, like if they were to give me like a selection, right?
Okay.
You know, I'd want to be able to like...
like Nick Offerman picking out a barrel.
Yeah,
oh, okay,
I'd say that level.
I'll put
I like this one.
That one. I want this one and put my name on that one.
Yeah. But see, my problem is I like a lot of stuff. Like I tend to find the good in most things before I find the bad, if that makes sense. Like
because you're a great person. That's all.
Like I don't know about that, but I'm a half full, not half empty kind of guy. So
I'm a quarter empty kind of guy.
Just means I need to pour more.
3/4 full, but I'm so negative.
but yeah, I think that but I would say like I would probably try to find something that just really. I would want to be involved enough to where I'd feel comfortable putting my name on something. I think that because your name's important, I think at the end of the day, right? Like, so that is important to me. Like, I would want to make sure it's a proper product that would be not, I'm sure plenty of people would be disappointed by anything at the end of the day, right? But I would also want to make sure, at least if it would be true to what I liked, like, or true to me, that would be what I'd find more important than anything else. Like,
when you sell out,
you can slap me.
Yeah, that was like, oh, remember that? I'm gonna replay that. When you start selling those fucking IEM cables, I'm gonna be like, oh man, this is gonna be great.
By the way,
I'm not gonna shit on Seb and whatever his locate. That's literally
it's
not
crazy.
how you're supposed to have IEM cables.
Dude, they're so pretty. They are.
Well, yeah, but like it's not like, why would you have thick ass cables?
So what it is it's actually, so I was looking at how it was made, right? Like
half of it isn't cable.
No, it's not even cable. It's just cable. It's not. Yeah, majority. They weave in.
Decorative.
Yeah, it's decorative. It's purely decorative. So like they weave in the cable into the thicker, but it's light.
But
so
why
it's
would
not...
they do that? It's stupid. It doesn't do anything.
Because it's pretty, dude. Because
yeah, but like when you go out and you like, it's
dude,
like
I just drape it. I'm just like, hey, I'm like Mr. T. Let's do this. I need 10 more of these, and so I can just drape them.
If I have a kid, I will beat my child with that cable. That's how it's like.
It's not that heavy. It's not. It wouldn't even do anything. It's so light. Like it's. I don't know, man. It's crazy. Well, I guess the end part would hurt like a mother effer, but like.
No, I don't. It has no like functional value to add that little bedazzle bead braid part. Like I just know.
It's pretty.
I feel like if you're gonna have the main cable that thick, like at least your two, like after the Y split isn't like, it has to be at least half as thick.
It is. They're tiny. Like they are. Like they're.
Yeah, it's tiny. So that doesn't really make any sense. It's just stupid. There's no function. Let's like whatever. You like that kind of.
It's a form. It is functional because they work. They sound fine.
You like
but
that
it's a form over.
Things, Tyler. This is why you're
Dude,
this is the feminine side of you. Sorry.
Yeah, dude. I just watch my girlish figure and all that fun stuff.
What was I saying? Oh man, got to.
We went deep
on your cable. Okay, so I always give you shit about this. So now that you like to review things, right? I think I asked you that before in your when you had your little second anniversary. I can't believe you stood me up. I can't believe you stood me up for that.
Well, because I promised.
You want to drink and stream by yourself instead of.
I would. Hey, I said I'd do the 10 o'clock. You said no. We'll do it next weekend. So I said cool, and I still had my stream.
And he was like, "Oh, I'm doing my second anniversary stream." I'm like, "Okay, that must be fine." I tune in, just him drinking by himself. He's like,
"All by myself." Oh God, I can't sing.
Now that I got you here, and you can't dodge my question.
Yeah, what's up?
Now that you're a real reviewer. Do you feel the need to have a ranking list?
Not really. Not particularly. I think it's silly. I think that's a silly thing. I think it's more of a get views type of deal than a actual.
I think it is.
Yeah, like I don't know, like, and I don't really have a ranking list. I don't know. Like, in my ranking list would probably just turn into a giant poo storm, because I'd put stuff that everyone is like, this is amazing, like below stuff that's. Basically, all my S-Class stuff would be like the SR1A, the Verite opens and close. I like the Stelly would probably be like an A. The Susvara would be like a B. All the Hyphaman stuff would be like, the rest of it would probably be all in the D section, if not F.
Don't you think that, like you like to shit on Critical so much? Well, not you. I like to shit on Critical so much. And then there's one thing I gave him a lot of credit for he has set a impossible beauty standard. Remember that quote? The Western standard of beauty. The objectivist standard of review when it comes to IEM reviewing that dictates that you have to have a tier list, you have to have a reference curve, and then you have to have a measurement mic.
Which is so dumb to me. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I get
why do you think that's dumb? Don't you think it adds legitimacy to your review?
If that's what you're going for, yes.
So you're saying you're just not legitimate as a reviewer?
Yeah, honestly, I don't think of myself as a reviewer. I think if you want to know what a measurement of a thing is, and you don't care about how it sounds to yourself, and will let someone or a frequency response dictate how you decide you like it, then that's my problem with it. To be honest,
I think that there's like visual representation of like how things should sound. Like obviously they're not really accurate.
Yeah, it's not 100% of what you should be.
Well, you can't really read a going to the stupid argument that you can't really read a graph and know what a thing sounds like, right?
Yeah.
But it kind of gives some. But then like at the same time, you can't really read a review and know what it sounds like either, right?
Correct. Like so that's the part that blows my mind. Like at the end of the day.
So like I'm just saying that I feel like a graph kind of gives like a visual representation about.
It gives so I'm going to be controversial here. I think a FR graph gives a false representation of legitimacy.
Whoa! That's a hot take right there.
It is, and I was.
Are
and
you
it's
saying critical is fake? Are you saying?
No, I think no. What I'm trying to say is that with the frequency response graph, right? It does tell you a story, right? But it doesn't give you the whole story. It doesn't give you the for an individual's ears how that thing actually performs or how much they as an individual like something, right? Like so I don't know, like you can have a frequency response graph and there's so many people that will read that and go, that's the end all be all, but then never actually listen to a thing and then crap on it or love it but never actually hear it. And that's the part where I start getting like, come on, like that's not a fair way to look at things, I guess, in my opinion. I don't know. Controversial or not.
Sure. I mean, like, you're never controversial. I mean, like,
I'd say that's pretty controversial. That's one of my hot takes, I'd say.
Sure. Like, as hot as you can be, Tyler. I mean, your takes are just, like, lukewarm, but you are smoking hot. But your takes is, though, like, not very much. I only wish your take is only as hot as you are, Tyler. Then it would be a great show. So try again, please. I'm just kidding.
This is hot. No, but like, so like in that statement, like the frequency response stuff, like I think it has a value. There's value there, right? I think people put too much value in it, and that would be my probably biggest criticism of that. You know, and I say like it's a false legitimacy, but it's not accurate. That's me just being kind of a hot take. But
so no graph from you.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, I understand more or less what they are. You know, I can read them generally, and I pay attention to it enough to know what it is. But at the end of the day, to me, like I'm in the hobby to enjoy listening to music. The gear is just the platform for me to get to that music. And so at the end of the day,
gear, like the Focal Stellia, how can you enjoy music?
It's so good. Oh. No, but that's you know, and here's the other fun thing is like no matter who you are, you're always going to have someone that's going to be contrary to your opinion of a thing. It does not matter. Like does not matter. There could be the most beloved thing in the world, and someone's going to be like, "That's hot trash."
I don't know how you're going to get that reference into the Focal Stellia argument because that is generally accepted as a very awful $3,000 close-back headphone.
See, so another hot take.
Okay, I'm not. No, let's just skip the argument. I think I give you shit every single time when you come on the show.
Well, I think my Verite clothes. These were just already hooked up.
You should just do that from now on. You should just put on the Verite clothes. I can give you less shit about a headphone that I have never heard before.
See, perfect example.
But like, could you have like a ranking listed?
I think so. I think I could, and it would probably be more just as a fun thing than anything else. And I'd probably make it more spoof. I'd be realistic with it, but as far as like my preferences, I'd say I'd rank it based on my preferences, which that's what everybody does.
I think that's everybody's ranking list. Like I think that's everybody's ranking list.
But I think a lot of people also don't. I don't know. To me, it seems like it's just too coincidental to me that there's people that just absolutely love certain things that are like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird.
Like people that really loves Neutrality.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Who likes that headphone? It's an okay IEM. It's meddling at best. I don't know. It's not a mess V1.
Did you know that I have the absolutely objective ranking list?
Do you?
Yes, I do. It's called. I have 2 tiers. It's called the QDC VX and the not QDC VX.
Yes, I do.
So
yes,
it's objective. So an IEM can either be QDC VX or not QDC VX.
Well, you can say that.
It's like you know.
So basically, what you're saying is a certain reviewer has taken your objective style and put it with a different IEM.
Exactly, and I think I should just it's like
they've taken your trademark and they made it their own.
It's awful. I just like it, and they made it like worse, like because they put their subjective criticism to other IEMs. When it comes to my review, it's just like, oh well, obviously this isn't VX, so it's bad.
No, get. Sorry, I have a 5-year-old monster. Okay.
Squirrel.
You want to say hi?
Oh my God, squirrel!
You can come say hi, then you have to go, okay?
Hi, my name
This is now
yeah. Okay, this is a PG. Yep. Okay, we can't have that because it'll get us taken off air. Go shut the door, please. Thank you, honey. Love you. I'm assuming the wife is working out, so she ran away.
That's cute. Okay, back to Radar. What you talking about? Distracted by your daughter.
Yeah, right.
So I feel like
ranking views.
I feel like your list would just be like a thumb up, thumb down thing. But then like you would feel so bad on giving something like a
thumbs down. Yeah, because I don't think anything's properly a thumbs down except for the Susvara. I mean, like U12T is kind of it's there a little bit, but I don't know.
Like are you gonna add like a rank like up, like a down?
That'd be like that. That'd probably be majority of it. Would be like the.
So is that like are you gonna will you add that to your future review?
Yeah, it'd be like thumbs up.
Just give it a rank, like yeah, and then like or like a
I should. But I always try to, in my head, I always try to put myself in other people's shoes a little bit, right? When I'm doing like my impressions, so I try to think of who would that be good for, right? At the end of the day, so even if something's not like my preference or it's not the best sounding, depending on the cost
I think that's awful. I think that's a cop out.
That's fair. It is kind of a cop out, but I feel I would feel
literally that's not how you. Fuck you, Tyler.
But
when I attack your opinion, you're not just like, oh, that's fair.
Yeah, it's your opinion, man. It's one of those things. You gotta, it's. I accept that you have an opinion, and let's go figure this out.
What I meant was that when you first said, well, my review is just my opinion, but you can't also say on the second half of our argument, and you just say, well, I try to put myself in other people's shoes. Well, then it isn't your opinion, isn't it, huh?
Well, no, like, I give my opinion about a thing, but then when I go into a thing where I try to say, who is this for, right? And I try to put myself in other people's shoes, or I try to think of how someone else would be viewing this, or how someone else would be listening, or what would its value be to somebody else, not necessarily myself. And which is totally a cop out because I can never be somebody else, right? But I try, but it's just I don't know. It's just a way to kind of think about it in a different light, or look at products differently than my own opinion.
Like the phrase that a face only a mother could love.
Yeah, fair.
You just like say, oh, imagine I'm its.
I'm its mother. Yeah, there you go. Or I'm the creator of this product. Yeah.
No, that's like no. If like that's not like you, and I say this with all sincerity, right? As everything that comes out of my mouth, I think, you would be a great reviewer, in terms of marketing.
Mark. Oh, yeah, I'm sure that. Because I don't really have.
Because you love everything, right? And not because like people can say, oh, he's just saying it because the company pay him to. Like, you genuinely love it, and that's fucking retarded.
Well, I mean, so for example, like, I'm not a big topping fan, right? So I did the topping D90 SE recently, the DAC.
Did you? Oh yeah, that thing came out, and you still say you love it. And
I thought it was good. It's good. I would still pick the Bifrost 2 out of it. Like, if I was to pick between the Bifrost 2 and the D90 SE, I would pick the Bifrost 2.
You didn't say that in your video.
I did. I said I'd pick the Bifrost 2.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind.
But I did say that the D90 SE, though, it is, if you like a more neutral, cleaner sounding DAC, that would be what I would go for. Like, or if that's your preference, you want something more neutral and more cleaner sounding with a little more punchiness, I would go with the D. Or you want the features. The feature set's exponentially better. I'd say the case works better too. I mean, I'm looking at it right now is why. But like, I guess that's where my controversy is. Like, I mean, I have opinions. Like, I do think certain things aren't very good.
Your opinions are not very.
They're just not very controversial. They're not very black and white.
But I think I do feel like every reviewer eventually arrive at that point.
Oh, the black and white, or just
reviews with lukewarm takes and done nothing really exciting.
I think there's also a certain point where I think you either fall into the realm of you hate everything or you love everything, or there's the middling.
No, you have what you like and you think no.
Yeah.
It's not black or white. It's always somewhere in the middle, right?
Somewhere in the middle, yeah.
And you have things you like, and then you have things that you like about it, and you have things that you don't like about it.
Yeah.
And you tell people the things that you like and things that you don't like. And you don't try to put yourself in other people's shoes. Well, if I was a retard, I would like the UMS because it has awful sound balance, and if I was tone deaf, I would love that IEM. I don't go around saying that, right? Because it's true.
I mean, it is. I mean, as a reviewer, like I said, it's the reviewer side of the house, right? There's also the factor of so I don't know. I'm not other reviewers, so I can't say. I've met a couple of them. I know a couple of them, but I mean, to me, I think it's the worst thing you can do as a reviewer is be dishonest with yourself. So as soon as you go,
no, they're all dishonest. At one point, that's why you're great, right? That's why you're great, right? Because you already have positive reviews. They don't even have to pay you.
Well, but I think that's it's unfair. I mean, I think that's unfair.
No, that's unfair to other people. You know why? Because you genuinely love everything. You
because it's cool.
Oh, this is my child. They're great. I just love everything. And a lot of people, a lot of reviewer does that too, but they don't do it of their own volition because they get paid to do it. It's they go it's you're a hooker that genuinely loves sucking dick, and that's great, right? Because you love your job.
It's so good. It's so good.
Sorry, I couldn't find a better
euphemism or
that just the best came out of my mouth. That was the best one yet. But no offense, because
no, but I mean, I think, but I honestly think that if you genuinely dislike something, I think you should say that at the end of the day. And there's ways to say that without it being a dick move, if that makes sense.
No, that's just
I don't like the Susvara, but I don't think people. But at the same time, I can appreciate the performance it has. But it's definitively not for me. I don't like.
Yeah, but Susvara is cancer, and when I have cancer, you don't go Rush, you have a lump in your chest,
but it's benign, so it could just stay there forever.
Yeah, you can probably live about 6 months max. How long? Say 60 years. It's fine. And I fucking die in 6 months. Well, nothing can help him anyways.
Yeah,
cancer. But no, when something's bad, then you just have to say it. I don't like it.
I don't like it. That's all. It's not hard. You say I don't.
It's bad. And it's bad.
And that's but at the same time, I can also appreciate a thing for it being that thing, I guess. So that's my perspective on things. So I'm saying thing a lot. This cap. It has zero value, but it does its job very well, right? Like, is this worth anything? No, but it does a thing that's really well. It keeps, and the way it pulls,
after you pull it out.
yeah, it's worth it. But the whole experience of pulling this pull tab, which by the way is lovely. This experience of pulling up like that kind of bottle cap pop, like, and you pop it, oh, that's lovely. It's fantastic. But then afterwards, you're like, you know. But up to that point, it's fantastic, and then afterwards, it's garbage. So I mean, there's a value to that, to a point, right?
Like, yeah, but like, don't you think when you do a review, right? And so I don't review things anymore. But
you review other people.
Well, yeah, and I think they're dog shit. But you know, well, you see, I don't get paid, right? And that's the great thing about this.
I don't get paid.
Right.
Well, I guess technically I do because I get YouTube ad revenue.
The thing is, that's what. Okay, so this is what I'm getting at, right? I think you'll say the same whether or not you get paid or not because you like everything already.
Yeah, that's I mean, I will always
I think like
be true to myself. That's a big thing. Like, I think that's important.
Yeah, but because you love everything already. Like, there's already zero substance in your review besides the fact that you're a very handsome man. I'm pretty sure 80% of people who watches your review are like, I mean, I sure do. I mean, like, there's like, if I mute your stream or any of your video, I literally get the same enjoyment out of it.
Someone actually asked me that. They're like, "Hey, so if I mute your stream, can I still get the counting of it as a view?" And I was like, "I guess
you do." So if you mute Tyler's stream, you still get 85% of the enjoyment out of him. Aside from, well, I mean, I would count your deep, sexy, smooth voice as, you know, more than 15%. But I'm saying that, you know
that's
is doing a lot. I'm pretty sure you alone have the largest female audience of any audiophile community. I'm just kidding. Not kidding. Kidding, not kidding. But yes.
We have a chat comment. I missed it.
No, we don't have. Nobody watches this thing.
Oh, okay. But no, go ahead. Continue. People watching
what I'm
the thing.
saying is that I feel like you would be I watch a lot of reviewers and I hate them. I don't like them. I don't really. I used to read their reviews and I don't anymore, because well, not because I don't like them anymore. Because I used to be more into audio. But now, like, I go read their reviews again. I was like, oh, let's see how they're doing. And then they review something. Wow, that's really fucking boring, because it's really fucking boring.
Yeah.
and you know what's funny? I watched HPB's review. He went the opposite direction. His reviews are so much more tame now, which is hilarious.
Oh, really? He went more. Dude, honestly, like, I haven't watched a lot of other. I just don't.
Like, when you go back in the day, he was talking about how big his dick is, which is like great. I love it, and it's just like, wow. You remember how you can go 80% on a chick, and you can just only do 80% because, you know, when you go all the way, you're just hurting. I'm like, yes. I'm like, wow. I'm like, wow. This guy is like legit. Like, I love it. It's great, right? It's hilarious, and it's like awfully like awfully entertaining. And
well, how do you maintain that though? Because there's a certain point, right? I bet there's a point where like you just can't maintain that anymore. Maybe that's what it is. Like,
I don't think so. Do you think he lost his fire?
Well, or just like
it's already fucking 40 years old.
But I mean, like, maybe that's what it is. Maybe like you do so many reviews like that. I mean,
that's what it is. He got married. The wife
that's right. He did get married. That's right. So like, I mean,
congratulations to HBB. Yeah. He married his then girlfriend, now wife.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
So, yeah, but don't talk about his wife though. He'll punch you in the neck and steal your IEM. No.
It's funny. Like, honestly, like every interaction I've had with him has been really nice. Like, honestly, I've never had.
You could actually beat the shit out of him. What do you think if I say the same thing to him? Say, I'm gonna snap you in half, you little chink. That's what he'll probably said to me. You're probably saying that right now in your head.
No, man, like, if there's one thing I've learned is like getting punched in the face is not fun. But like,
probably by me you wouldn't feel it.
So I think someone commented, they're like, "Oh, you're like," and I totally took it the other way. They're like, "Oh, you look like one of the Owen or Luke Wilson, Luke." But I thought he said Owen, and I was like, oh, it's because I've had my nose broken too many times. So my nose is crooked, man.
I feel like every single reviewer, like, so if you were to say like, you know, like HPB is like the really hardcore reviewers, which I like to dog on him a lot, but I do believe in a certain sense he does believe in what he says.
I agree. You know? I actually think he is probably one of the more genuine people out there for that.
Yeah,
regard.
He is. He talks. He has no filter, and he's great.
He has no filter. Yeah.
Either like he plays a character on stream, which is a great character, by the way. I do enjoy.
I don't think he does, dude. I think that's just him.
I don't care. I mean, I think either if he plays that character like the bad boy character online, or like, you know, maybe he's a nicer person in real life. But like I think it's a great reviewer. And he doesn't like things and he likes things. He'll tell you straight up.
He'll just tell you.
You know what he likes? He likes a lot of bass, and that's you know, he might not be the smartest man on earth, but you know, he knows what he likes, and you know what to expect from him, right? And so like, as much as I like to dog on the guy, you know, outside of all the, you know, the other drama, which I think is hilarious because it's not happening to me, right?
Yeah.
I think he's a great reviewer. I watch him. It's because it's hilarious, right?
He has entertainment value. Yeah.
Right. It'd be like why would I watch somebody who just gonna talk about things that I already know and nothing that matters, right? I want him to put on an IEM and compare the nozzle of that IEM to his fucking massive cock, and if. But like, you don't see him talking about that anymore. He deleted that video, and it's a shame because now that he's like, because before he's not that big and he's like, he can say whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't think he's out. But now that he's like now he does his full time. He's like, oh, you know, I have to care about my image. Like, obviously he's not like, you know, he didn't get nude or anything. Like, he's still very controversial in terms of his tone and reviewing style. You know.
I think
it's just not the OHPV about, you know, with the list, man. What?
I think there's that too, right? I think that it's responsibility, man. It just sucks. Like at some point in time, everyone has to also have to reconcile why they're doing a thing or what they're doing, right? And with the real world, right? At a certain point, it's like my action has a reaction or has, you know what I mean? Like, for everything you do, there is going to be repercussions for that, good or bad, right? Like, so that's something that, as a cognizant person, that's something to be highly aware of, you know?
Yeah, but like, you're just like getting drawn into this middle line about being more marketable and it just being more boring. I think like manufacturers want something that's marketable, and then you just dragging everybody into the middle line, and nobody is really opinionating anymore because you can't. Because if you are, then you don't sell things, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
But going back to you, that's just what's so great about you. You're already not opinionated, and you're already in that middle line. So you're just like, you know, you're not selling yourself out.
Well, that's why I call it my experiences. I don't call it a review or a definitive thing. Like, I don't think my opinion.
You don't call it anything, you know. I don't call it a blowjob if I put a condom over the dick. But I mean,
I'm just chewing on some rubber, you know. But like, no, but I mean, it's seriously, like, I think that's an important thing to account for, is like and that's what I was kind of talking about earlier when I was saying, like, where eventually people they have that curve, right? Like, they're either going to continue pushing hard the other way, or they're going to hit that point where they realize they need to, or not realize, they'll probably without even realizing it, will do this, where they'll start to plateau and become more of a.
I don't think they realize it. I don't think I don't think it's like subconsciously. Well, maybe HPB kind of consciously delete his legendary TI-04 video where he compared a nozzle to his dick. but I think like, yeah, people do tone down their rhetoric. Like, I mean, like, if QVC would pay me money to not, they go like, hey Rush, I need you to not, like, just have a little bit less, you know, like, dick references in your podcast. That would be nice. I'm like, sure.
Great.
Okay, I'll do it.
I said in my head the movie The Office. You know, he's like, so yeah, if we could just have a little less dick in this, it'd be great.
Yeah.
Okay. but But I mean, like that. But that's a factor, though. I mean, he, as a business person, because that's what you have to look at it as. Once you hit a certain point, as well, it is a business at a certain point, right? As you're an entertainer. I think that's the factor that people start to move towards. Is they move away from being less. I mean, they're still doing, I guess, reviews, but at a certain point, people need to realize that they're also entertainment, right? I mean, that's what it is. At the end of the day, it's entertainment.
It is, but then it's not entertaining anymore because you're just.
Well, now and then you have to figure out how do you reconcile that? How do you move to?
I've moved on to my Chaser IEM. A nice a Redbreast 12 is because it's nice and mellow.
Let's see. Actually, I still have my Harmony. I have a Dalmore that I'm still needing to kill. Dalmore 12. I mean, I can switch to that.
Actually have 4 bottles this time because it's Chinese New Year. There was a lot leftover from Chinese New Year.
Happy New Year's.
Now you owe me
belated
envelope money.
Yeah?
Enough said that. That was a bait. I'm just kidding. What am I getting at? But I think that's what's great about you because I know you for a while. Well, I don't know you. Well, I talked to you. I talked to you.
Interacted multiple times.
Right. So I feel like in like the marketable perspective, in the marketable perspective, you're extremely marketable, and that's great, right? Because you're not really like I'm not saying like you're not really like a critical person, which is like no, being good or bad is not. It's not good or bad. It's just a thing. Like if you're not super critical and you try to find like you always love something, then you're extremely marketable because you're not a risk, right? You're not like.
Or I'm less likely to be I'm less likely to go off the handle on something.
Like HBB, like the old HBB, like if I say something, he might put us on blast, and it's always awful. Base is awful. You're not doing that risk. Like when Drop sent Critical their AXX, which was really that was a mistake.
I think I did a view on that too, and the 8XX to me was, I think my answer to it was actually it's pretty decent unless you've ever heard a Sennheiser before. So if you've heard a Sennheiser, it's not good. But if you've never heard a Sennheiser, it's good. You know what I mean? Like so.
I mean, like I don't really. I mean, like, I was fully expecting him to say, "Oh, it's a pretty okay," but he put it on blast, which I see still have incredible, I guess, which is good.
But there's already a standard for that, though, when you think about it.
Like what standard? Like,
I mean, every reviewer that read that or heard that thing outside of
it's just that bad, right? But at the same time, they could have just make it less that bad. Most reviewer will love it. Right.
Yeah. Well, I think the biggest problem they did was they took away the soundstage, which was what makes the HD100 the HD100.
I'm not reviewing the HD100 is an awful headphone, anyways. I don't like it. It's stupid.
Oh, so mine's over there. I call mine Frank the Tank.
I mean, you're either a boomer or you just have no personality. That's the people who. Oh wait, you just happen to be both of them. That's why you.
I'm a little bit. I mean, I got gray in my beard.
Sorry. That's okay though.
Balding.
But what I'm saying that I feel like it's great because like I'm not gonna see you going towards that middle ground because you're already at that middle ground and it's lovely.
Because, so are we gonna go super negative or we continue going super positive?
Oh, no, you're not gonna go anywhere because you're like super marketable. So, but like, how is let's get back to shitting on you on other things, right? You recently got the HBB collab.
KZ is over there. That was a couple days ago.
Have you tried it? You haven't even reviewed it, right?
No, not yet. I still have to open it up, and I have to just shoot some. I have to do my little spinny video of it. Probably do that tomorrow. I need to do that for a couple other ones too, and then I'll listen to them for a couple days, not a week or so, and then. So right now, the one I'll have upcoming is the what the hell is it called? It's over there. I don't want to grab it, but it's the one that Ant and everybody was like, "This is not good. Like, it's not. You're not gonna have a good thing to say about it." But what the hell is it called? Anyways, it's a interesting one. And then I have the purple one, that I was excited for, but it came with a little anime magnet girl thing, so we'll see how that goes.
Purple one? Don't you know what it is?
I just know it's purple, so I'm excited for it.
Such a child. So at what point do you say this is too? Well, obviously you're just starting out, right? And I hope, and I wish you a very successful career, I guess, whatever. But at what point do you think this is too cheap for my effort?
I'm already there, to be honest with you. Like, I'm saying yes to like people sending me stuff still, just because it's stuff, it's content, and I'm using it as a means to get better at shooting and videography.
Like other people, and not companies. You mean like individuals?
Companies, and individuals send me stuff too, but like usually individuals send me higher end stuff.
Those are like
but
fun ones. Those are like the expensive things.
Yeah, the expensive stuff. I already. Yeah, like I have expensive stuff, dude. I mean, I have the Spring 3 here. Like, and most of the stuff but I don't know. And that's also unrealistic as well to some level. Yes, Neil, alcohol does affect. It's called distortion, and it's lovely. Get you some.
It doesn't affect my hearing.
Sorry, I just saw that comment. I thought it was. And also, Ant says hi, or Hootie. But yeah, I think that I'm already there. Like, I think because I have. And I'm not trying to say this is like a weird thing, but like I have Stelios on my head right now. Like I had SR1As for the longest time. I have, the Verites. I have, like, so I don't know. Like for me, like that's what I was saying before, where you asked me would I buy a bunch of KZ stuff. I'm like, no. Like why? Like there's no.
But
like I'll listen to it.
They'll send it to you, and then they still send it to you, and then you go like, oh, you have to review it. But like because you like reviewing things, and that's a hobby. That's why I'm not gonna fault people for it. All right.
And that's where I fall under. I think is that like where I enjoy. I'm using it also as a means to get better at doing this too, right? Like I think I was talking to somebody about it, and like until you have like I'm almost to 100 videos, but a majority of those videos are live streams. And so someone was saying you're not going to be really great at shooting video or doing the B-roll or having good quality videos until you get over 100 videos, like made videos, right? So that's why I'm kind of.
I think your video qualities are great, and I have nothing to, but not problem, but the problem is that is it worth it to have the usual production quality for a $20 IM?
Probably not. I mean, I'm trying to figure out a way to do them where I can get them down to like 5 minutes. Like those for these IMs. That's my new goal right now for a lot of these is like for like the lower, like the cheaper. Not that they're bad, but just the effort and time put into it.
You won't even say it. You won't even say it. They're just like
cheaper
IMs.
There's cheaper IMs. They're not that they're bad.
You have to reiterate
words. They're hard. I tell you, I have this problem every day.
No, I'm not even gonna try. Like you have to like correct yourself. Like it's like I want to get in 5 minutes and it's cheaper. Not that they're bad. Like you just say cheaper. You don't have to like.
But they're not because someone's going to take that and be like, oh, he hates. I'm like, no, I don't.
No, they're cheap.
It's they're just cheaper. They're $20. Yeah, and that's when.
I like cheap things. Like no,
yeah.
I'm.
I mean, to me, the anything that's going to be under a couple $100, like there's plenty of people that can't afford $15, $20 IMs. So to me, like that's a disservice to say that they're bad if those people are going out. You know what I mean? Like that's not, it's not cool. And so
okay, no, I'm gonna hit you with the Rush Pro tip right here.
I already know what it
is. So yeah, let's just like no, I.
But there's value there though. There is a value to having a cheap IM because then you could also use those as a means to find the signature you like, and as you progress in the hobby or progress in that experience, you can experiment with cheaper IMs to find the profile you like. And
okay, I'm gonna say this right once.
Okay,
Tyler, are you listening?
I'm listening.
There is no value in being poor.
Yeah, there is. Gives you a drive. It gives you a drive to
slave over your wage labor
to climb out of that and to
living the American dream.
Live the American dream. Climb, claw, and yeah. Yep.
No, started from the bottom. Let's get that conservatism out of the way. That was I am actually quite liberal, not as liberal as Tyler, which just makes me funny, right? The immigrant is the conservative.
The big bald tattooed bearded guy that probably looks like a freaking
liberal. Let's get that conservatism out of the way. Do you take a value approach to reviewing? Do you go like,
I try to.
$20?
It depends. Like honestly, a lot of times I don't even like. This might come off as bad, but like I don't actually know what the price of a lot of these things are until after I finish the videos.
But it's a KZ, so you know it's cheap, right?
I know it's cheap, yeah. So I just assume it's under like a certain price, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all the same to you.
Yeah, and obviously when I'm filling out my link, I have to link them to whatever. I have to look that link up and put it on. But so I'll know then. I'm like, oh yeah, however much that was, or I'll have a general idea.
You always have a general idea, right? Like,
yeah.
You always knew something that's like between like someone. And like let's not like you're not gonna say, oh, this is $25.99. It's great for $25.99. But if it's a $25.98, then it'll be awful, right?
Yeah,
like it's under $50.
It's under $50.
Yeah, it's whatever. Under $100, like that's whatever, right? And between like 300 and 500, whatever, right? If you have 300, 500 to spend, it's about the same thing.
Yeah, go forth, do great things. But I mean, if you're struggling to fill a gas tank, $25 is important. So don't go buy a $25 IM. Simple.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna speculate on people's like personal finances, but like it's just, I'm not like no, but what I'm saying is that like, do you factor in the price in your review, or
I like to I'll put it to some level, like so.
Because it'd be hard, right? Because everything will be shit when they're cheap. Because like, of course, the more expensive IEM is better.
It's like ridiculous, yeah. Like so, because I only have so many different things on hand, right? So I have the Unique Melody Mess V1s here, right? These are just something I really like. That's a $1,000. It is, sure, it can be, but like for me, I love these IEMs. I think they're fantastic. But like for $1,000 is a KZ, whatever the CCA CRA gonna compete with these for build quality, for sound quality, for no, like that's just dumb. Why would I, but I'll throw them on there and I'll compare them and be like, yeah, this is not a fair comparison, but I think that's probably what I would do along those lines.
But like, isn't it also kind of hard to like factor in values?
Yeah, because my value is not your value.
Right, exactly. But that's your opinion, right? Because you're you're giving away your opinion, right? You say, oh well, then in my opinion, and you'll probably say in the end of your KZ video, well, in my opinion, I think this HBB KZ collaboration is good money for the value.
Yeah.
Like, who am I to say?
But that's the thing. Like for me, like would I would I go out and buy that myself? Probably not.
Well, no,
I haven't heard it yet, but I mean, I don't.
It's more about how much are you willing to spend to buy IEM with a racist name attached to it.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know that full controversy about that, but I mean,
I don't really care but it was just funny.
Yeah,
I love saying it. It's hilarious.
And
I'm sure he regrets it very much.
I'm sure he does, because I think it's just him being like, because I only know tertiary. Once again, words are hard. I was never involved in those conversations, but I've heard it. Obviously, I've seen it on the different Discords and different whatnot. But like, how much of that was just him being him, like just being mad about whatever, and him just?
I don't really care. I mean, I think it's hilarious. I mean, like, I don't really care. I'm not butthurt about it because he hates Asians and I'm Asian, right? I just thought it's funny. I thought it's hilarious.
But he can't. I just don't.
I mean, this, right? I mean, like, let's do like the Ken Bob argument, right? He can't really be racist against like, come on, his fucking wife is Japanese.
Yeah,
he lives in Japan.
That's what I'm getting at. Like,
he actually really hates Asians. You really wouldn't live in Asia.
Yeah.
Like that. Like, I don't think he mean it. I honestly, I'm not gonna.
I think it's just him being, but you're not gonna. It's a misfortunate thing that happened, that they let their emotions get the better of them and they went and said something they probably shouldn't.
Right? I know he doesn't mean it, but it's hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna let him live that down.
No, and that's the thing. Like, and there's a good portion of that you shouldn't let that be let down. But at the same time, it's like,
honestly, one of myself in terms of like politically incorrectness. That's why every other stream just seems so much more tamer than the previous one. No,
that's fair.
No, it isn't. No, because there's no like I don't make money and nothing. I don't want to make money, and it's whatever. But like back to the value thing, right?
Value thing.
What are you gonna say? Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, like, I think that when it comes to like the making money factor, right? Like, I think that's when it starts. It can become. I think that's when you start to, that pressure of being this. If you're making this your career, that pressure of making money, I think, is what probably wrecks more people than it should. You know what I mean? If that makes sense in this space. Because now, if you've given up your job, and this is now something that you're dedicating as this is what's making my life work, then yeah, I think you're going to do everything in your power to maintain that. And
but then you're just catering towards the lowest common denominator.
And yes, which
I
think.
My bad. Sorry, that was too political. Then you're just catering to retards.
Because that's better.
That's what we're trying to say. My bad. Because why would you ever make your previous collaboration cheaper than the last? Because your audience are fucking poor ass college kids who has no money to buy IEMs, that can't spend fucking $20 out of their fucking pocket to buy a $1,400 IEM. Of course, you weren't gonna sell any of those. That's why you just make collaboration cheaper, one cheaper after another. And because they're cheap, you have to put in less effort for it. So just slap my name on it.
There's that too. I don't know if that's what's happening. I don't know. Like I said, I don't. But like that could be a factor. Like that could be something that easily happens. But yeah, like that
right,
could
because
be a thing.
Because your audience is because again, like Toyota doesn't sell, Lexus doesn't sell the LFA the most. That's the least best selling car because it's their best car, right? They expect to sell at Lowe's. The best selling car is the fucking Toyota Camry because it's their middle ground.
Corolla,
right?
Probably the Corolla.
Well, whatever. I don't do cars. Sorry, I don't do poor people cars. My car doesn't have AC, by the way, so yeah. So like you're just appealing to the middle ground, and it's fine. Mm-hmm. But then at the same time, you're not really who you started out to be. So I have this theory, right? And people doesn't realize this, and they will say, "Oh, I'll be the same even if I make money or not, because this is just a hobby." And now that you make money, no, that's never the same.
Never the same.
Because once money is involved, it's no longer your hobby; it's your job.
Yeah, it's your job.
Mm-hmm. I know that from a very long time ago, that I would never do anything I like for money, because once I start getting paid,
that it's no longer fun.
Because no, it's always about maximize profit and minimize. You have to be the most marketable. I can't call you a hooker on stream anymore, and why would I even have you on if I can't call you a whore?
I think there can be. You can find a balance to that. I think to some level, but I do agree. I think at a certain point that you are going to be
and still make money.
Yeah, of course. I mean, plenty.
I got to get a sex shop to sponsor me. I guess that's.
But yeah, you have to make that conscious decision of what's worth that versus, you know what I mean? Like you can.
This episode of Audio Discourse is sponsored by Hot Topic. For your edgiest teenage angst, get it all at Hot Topic.
I need a Rush Mohawk next time. Multicolor.
No,
for diversity.
That was too much edge. But I think.
But no, I agree. I think that there's a certain point where you're always, once the money thing kicks in, and to me, what I would like to see, my goal for doing this, because I enjoy doing it, one, and two, it would be nice if it paid for itself. But I mean, that's probably years down the road, if at all, if I'm lucky. So I mean, for me, it is because I enjoy it, but that is definitely something that weighs on me a little bit. At what point does this become tedious, or what point does this become a thing where I'm like, ugh. And it happens every once in a while, but
no, I think that's what I'm getting at. I don't think you're gonna change your rhetoric or not rhetoric or your message.
Mm-hmm.
like your reviewing style, whatever you want to call it, or bullshitting. But you're just gonna think it's a drag. Like you just think, oh, I gotta send this cheap shit.
Now I have to do it.
I have to review it.
Yeah.
Even though I like it, I just don't think it's worth my time. You think you just get to a chore and it's not something that you enjoy anymore.
And I'm kind of there with certain things, and because honestly, my favorite thing to do, and the reason I even started this in the first place is what we're doing right now.
Talking to me.
Yeah, like honestly, like having like
having
seriously, like it was like but no, like that, like doing. If you look at my original stuff, my original content was all live stream was guests. Like it was all chatting about hobbies and having fun. It was, and
except that then people accusing you of not liking Mexicans, but that was another story.
So ridiculous.
Got you there.
Oh god.
Oh, that was another. Oh, sorry. So that was a
little blow. But like here's my other thing. Like would you kind of know? Like I don't have time for controversy either, right? Like I just don't.
I watch this. Tyler is not I am the racist here, not Tyler. If one of us is gonna light across another people's front lawn, it's probably me. You're lucky that I'm not born a white man. If I was,
Jesus. But seriously, like that's one thing I do have though. Like I don't if that's probably one of my more hot topic things is once something is not worth my time anymore, I have no problem like just cutting it out. Like I don't have, you know what I mean? Like I'll do my best to make it work to a point, and then once that point's crossed, it's like, I'm sorry.
So what point am I at right now, Ty?
Well,
should I go more hoary or more racist?
but no, like I always think like so. I always call it the trial by rush. I always joke about it. Like if I can't handle having a conversation with you, like I shouldn't be on the internet, right? Like if someone can't.
I'm deeply hurt that you compare me to an edgy teenager who's like mentally 16, which I am.
Well, I'm 12 in my brain, so I mean, I guess that works. But but I mean, that's true though. I mean, like if you can't handle having because I think at least with you generally mean well. Like you know what I mean? Like there's a difference.
What are you talking about? No, I don't. That's awful.
I know. I'm putting you on blast in a weird way right now.
I know.
I think you like being. It is what it is, right? Like you.
I think it's hilarious to have a. I mean, like.
Get awkward. We get awkward now. We need.
No, it's not awkward. I mean, like. I'll play that Pornhub intro music, like that. Oh, did I cross the line? My point is that, you ever watch that skit where George Bush, like in the Correspondents' Dinner, he got Jeff Bridges on.
Mm-hmm.
And then the White House Correspondents' Dinner, so like George Bush is pretty much giving a speech, but Jeff Bridges giving like the funny version of that speech. Or you watch like a version. How about this? Like even better when he had when President Obama had which one's Peel?
Peel, yeah.
He had on like, as his angry translator. I feel like I'm your angry translator.
Yeah, that's fair. This way, like so.
You're saying that you're releasing that inner Nazi coming from you.
Jesus, dude.
This is a scrawny Asian dude.
You can say maybe.
Am I expressing your inner conservatism?
Like so here's a fun fact about me. Like as a kid growing up,
replace us. Should I have not yelled that? That was a little bit much. Wow,
but that was pretty bad. But But I mean, honestly, like as a kid growing up, like so that's part words.
You don't have to explain why you think
I actually I actually do have anger management issues. Like I do have them. I had them as a kid, and it's so I had been trained since being a little kid to control my anger management stuff. So,
and you can tell I never have anger management issues.
And so, I always joke. It's like it's funny because I have him right here, sitting right here. But like I always joke that the Hulk line. He's like, well, it's because how I control it is because I'm always angry. And so, and that's
enough talking about uncomfortable topics.
Yeah, but it is like that's something that's.
You are going to Can Jam, New York.
Yeah.
You can say that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And can you say that who you're going?
I'll be going. Yeah, I did in the last video. So I'll be going. I'm helping Justin from Amson Sound. So
yeah, and you know him for a long time, obviously. You know, you show for him, and you know.
Yeah, you could say. I mean, I like his amps, man. I think they sound. I mean, there's certain things
I
can see.
I will love his amps too if I get to sell one for free. Again, his amps are $6,000.
They're expensive.
They are very.
I don't own any of his amps, by the way. Like I have.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
I don't. In fact, like all of them. Well, I don't like even like so. Once his that I do own technically I do own some of his amps because he actually DIY'd the corn scalas I have and then he DIY'd the amp I'm using with them as well as the pre. So technically I do have some amps that.
I want to ask you about that, right? So is it just him and you, just you and him?
Yeah. So I'll be helping him as so it'd be chill. It's gonna be and Justin's he's a very big guy. I don't know if you guys know this. Like,
I'm kind of worried when you say he's a big guy because you're a big guy.
He makes my chord scholars are big, right? I don't know if you saw the chord scholar video that I did with him where he did his master class on the chord scholar, but like he makes those things look small. And I'm like, Jesus,
that would be kind of weird.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll get a picture with him and we'll see what that looks like, but. I'm sure there'll be something comes out of that, but I can jam.
But this is like probably the first time that you
properly hung out with him. Yeah.
Well, no, like I mean, like doing like a brand thing, like an ambassador or whatever, like whatever he wants to call it.
Well, I'm just helping him out. So I mean, I guess you could technically say like I guess I would be considered a brand because I am helping him out at his booth. But like, yeah, I guess you could say
like a contractor, part-time kind of thing, whatever.
Kind of. I guess you could look at it that way. I'm just,
paying for all that stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be.
Out and all that stuff.
He's just, he's help. No, I'm paying to fly out. That guy's flying out anyways, and then I'm just helping him with the booth. So he's gonna, basically, he's like, I'll buy you dinners if you help me out with the booth. I
think that's nice. I think you obviously like his stuff because you're a fucking booth.
But I mean, I like his stuff. Yeah, like his.
You want to pay you in amps.
No, I mean, he talked about that. He's like, if you want, I'm like, I don't know, man, we'll see. But I mean, he might pay me for my time, like sitting there while, like, so if he has to go do stuff, he'll like,
Hey Tyler, I'll pay you for your time too.
Stop it, dude. My nipples can only get so hard.
I think it's great. I think it's honestly a brand that you love, and you love everything, right? And I think it's great. Super just asked if I'm a real reviewer. I didn't get licensed. Sorry, Super. I'm not to your level yet, man. Yeah. So Tyler, do you know how you need to be a reviewer? You need to compare everything to the Moondrop essay.
I don't think I have the Moon. I don't think I've even heard the Moondrop essay.
So as much as I hate the Moondrop essay, I think you should get one.
Should I? Okay, I'll look into it.
I think you should. I mean, like, I think, like, in terms of, like...
So, hot take. I'm going to give you a hot take, real quick. Proper hot take. Mm-hmm. I don't like IEMs. Like,
but you review
actually
them, right?
do not like IEMs. Yeah.
Right. I don't either. I mean, they're, like,
Like, to me, if I was going to make a tier list, let's make a tier list of how your music is presented to you. I would put S tier as speakers, A tier as headphones, and B tier as IEMs, and then C and below would be like your phones, speakers, your I don't know, stuff like that.
I mean, like, bigger's better, of course, but nobody have like room, and like people don't sit in their house all day. Obviously, everybody sits in their house now because of Corona. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could say, I have Kefs right here, and then I have a little subwoofer below my desk, which, lovely. And that's how I prefer to listen. And that's actually why I got rid of my SR1As, is because I had the Kefs, and it replaced that.
What, you mean they're not really ear speakers?
Yeah, I don't have those anymore. I sold them.
You mean they're not really? But no, like, but now that you are a like but now that you are a like, I feel like as much as I hate the essay, right? I don't know why Super Review is here. That was kind of weird. But now that you have the essay, I don't like him. I don't like him.
I love Superman. He's a good dude. He's probably one of the actually speaking. See, like, look, check this out. On my, oh, he might be able to pick this up. Can I? Is that focused? That's a super sticker. High res placebo.
I don't think I like any reviewers. But like I think
Super's awesome, dude. He's probably one of these. He's one of the better ones, man. Honestly.
Fake reviewer. Just kidding. Not kidding. So the reason that I feel like you should get the essay or just try it maybe, I think it's something that's worth having because now that you review IEMs, which is like a
have like a baseline or whatever.
Like a baseline of comparison because so if you were to review, let's bring it to like a little bit more fun.
What if I love the KZ HBB collaboration so much that I made that my baseline?
Then I want you to punch me in the neck as hard as you can next time you see me, and that's probably manslaughter.
I saw the KC, I have a CC or a CRA still. How about that one? That's pretty basic though, right?
What I'm saying is that if you were to review whiskey, right? You love whiskey. You're a whiskey lover.
I do love whiskey. Yeah. So, I have about 100 bottles in my collection right now.
Right. So what is your baseline for comparison when it comes to whiskey? If you compare like American bourbon.
American bourbon, okay.
Like a bourbon. So like okay. What would you compare every single? How about this? Even better. Kentucky bourbon.
You know, honestly,
what will be your baseline
of
a Kentucky bourbon?
Like a proper Kentucky bourbon.
Buffalo Trace.
Yeah, I'd say, honestly, I would go with the different. It'd be a different variation of each, but I'd say each distillery's baseline would be like Buffalo Trace, the baseline one. I'd say Elijah Craig.
Why is Buffalo Trace?
Four Roses is fantastic.
No, that's no. Do you know why is Buffalo Trace?
Why?
Because it's accessible.
Oh, and everyone can hear it. Yep.
And everybody can taste it.
That's true.
When that's right?
Yeah,
because
that's
like
fair.
you can say, well, you have Four Roses. Yes, Four Roses. So like,
Four Roses would be a good one. Elijah Craig. Yeah.
And like, but that's not like Kentucky bourbon,
Yeah. I mean, but like I see what you're saying, like having like a proper like set, like even if it's not like your thing that you like the most, it's something
I'm not saying Buffalo Trace is good. I'm just saying it's like everybody can get it. It's $29.99 a bottle for most people. Depends on which state you are. Sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less, but you can get it for less than $50. And if you like bourbon enough, you can go out in most liquor stores and get yourself a bottle of Buffalo Trace, and you can.
That's fair.
And when you say, "Oh well, the Eagle Rare tastes richer than Buffalo Trace," or you can say the GRS is a all around better version of a Buffalo Trace, or you can say the GRS blows Buffalo Trace out of the water for $25,000 a bottle.
I don't say for that much money, but yeah, like I get what you're saying. Yeah, like having like a standard baseline.
So when you have a baseline of comparison, like so for like Kentucky bourbon, I do believe that it is Buffalo Trace, and when if you were to review like Scotch or Isla Scotch, I think it's either Lagavulin or my
God, what would be a good one for Japanese whiskey? I'd say Harmony.
No, Japanese whiskey is no. That is a blend.
No, honestly, I'd say something from Nika would be my favorite. I'd say. I would say the coffee, or I can never pronounce that right.
Coffee taste. So
yeah. God, I had one that was so good the other day.
It's the Nika from the barrel. That's their taste. But that's hard to get though. That's 50.
That's really hard to get.
55%. So like
Well, I mean, I have some pretty unique ones up on my shelf right here. Oh, the Abunad is really good. But that's a
whiskey top distracted with you with alcoholism.
You did.
My point is, if you want to have a baseline comparison, I think you should get something that's mildly priced and like easily accessible.
Yeah, that's fair.
So again, as much as I don't like the essay, I think it's honestly
it's a good one to have as a baseline.
Yeah, it's like the tap water of IEMs.
Hey, wait, I might have heard the S8. I should look it up.
I think you should have it. You should always drink tap water, right? It's tap water out of IEMs. It's just boring. I mean,
I'd have to ask Ant, because I mean, Ant. I've heard a bunch of stuff whenever I meet up with Ant. Ant will have some random IEM, and I'll listen to it.
MRS will lend you his golden pair of SA, which he compares everything to, even things familiar. Mildly above his price range. I'm just kidding. No, I think it's a great IEM. I think you know, to his audience, is like, you know, people can hear SA if you can try.
What's the difference between an A8 and an S8?
The A is really bad. The SA is less bad.
Okay. Because I think I've heard these. I might have heard these.
They
look familiar. They look familiar. I don't. They look really familiar. Like, I feel like I've heard these at some point.
How about this? You know why I don't like Precock? Because he compares everything to the 12T, and 12T is fucking boring.
It is boring as shit, dude.
Yeah, like SA is like the cheaper version of that.
So boring. No joke, dude. I literally had the U12T. I had the U12T and the Unique Melody Mest version 1, and they were the same price. I could have got them both for the same price, and I literally chose the Mest V1. If that tells you anything.
You're right or wrong, because I hate them both. But at the same time, like, you know, if 12T is filter watered, like SA is like tap water.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't.
Oh, okay. I got you.
I'll drink it if I'm really thirsty, but like, would I really? Probably not.
Yeah, Super just said, like, I just looked at the price, Super. Like, that price is super meme, dude. That's a very lucky number, though. That's a very lucky number in certain cultures.
Is it 8666?
It is. It's all sixes.
Nice. Hey, you know what? Super can give you the hookup. Maybe he can give you provide you an SA at a discount. So you can compare everything to the SA, which is a kind of, you know, not a bad idea. I mean, whatever.
I have to see if Super wants to do a live stream with me. We can chat about IEMs and why speakers are better.
I mean, everybody knows speakers better. There's nothing.
Sorry, I'm joking, but like, no, but I think that's with the IEM space, right? Like, I think that going back into the IEM, like, why, like, things that I would probably not want to do in the future, like certain ones I would like, but like, yeah, right now I'm doing them because I enjoy filming them. I don't necessarily enjoy listening to them as much, but I really enjoy filming them because it's teaching me a lot. Every time I do a video, it's teaching me more how to properly do videos and get better at editing and what have you. And I do enjoy the experience of it, right? Like, so I think that's another factor for me is I'm actually very grateful for the experience of that experience, like said experience. Maybe that's where you get that whole, like, where I get like, what's that, Marie Kondo? I get joy in trying new things. Like, I never will, like, it's very rare for me to go to the store, and if I'm going to the liquor store, right, and I see different whiskey bottles, I will probably 90% of the time go buy a bottle I've never had before over a bottle I know is good, if that makes sense.
You ever try anal before, Tyler?
That's neither here nor there. Are we talking giving or taking?
Yeah, I mean, we gotta pick. I'm fine either way.
This went down a weird path, but I'm saying,
it's not the experience of trying. That's fucking stupid. Like,
yeah.
Like, I mean, it's a waste. I'm sorry, my bad. That's awful. Sorry, that's a little bit out there. You have to decide at a certain point. It's a waste of your time.
Yeah, and it's not that it's a waste of your time. It's here's the part where I don't think it's a waste of my time. I think what it is that's a horrible way to say that. Is God, words, grammar, English is hard. What I was trying to say is, like, the experience is worth it, right? The getting to experience that product for what it is worth it. The time and expense and effort put into making a video that's 10 minutes long about it is probably not worth it. If that makes sense.
Sure.
Genelex versus Moondrop S8 just for Rush. Let's do this.
You should. I have
Super gets me. Super gets me. The is. I want to link it up, man. I want to see this. But that's true though, man. Like I think that the experience of a thing is more important than the actual value of a thing, because you get more value.
Favorite Caucasian reviewer, who also lives in America, might really. I don't. Okay, so here's the thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Hit me.
Okay, not for you. For our greatest listener who happens to pop in, right?
Okay, all of our 2 people that are watching right now.
Well, one of them is a very famous reviewer.
It's true.
I would be surprised if he gets on a call with me and he let me shit on him for an hour.
I think it's worth it.
I don't think so.
I think
I'll say this right now in the open, in public, and I think I joke with him all the time about his essay, about why I have this disdain towards whatever he is. So obviously Ken is my friend, right? So, and the only reason I watched one of his review, the only review I watched from Super MRS is his Helios review.
Ooh, the Helios is good, man. I like the Helios.
I mean, like, I don't really care. I mean, like, I don't think it's that great, honestly. I just thought that I never really watched. I never really watched any of his other review before, and then like I never really and I just find it like, well, I'm obviously biased because like Ken's my friend, and I don't have to tell you how good of a friend Ken is to me because I literally did the first season of the podcast with him for like fucking 14 some seasons. So like obviously he's a really good friend of mine, right? I'm not gonna say that like he did the IEM the service. I just thought that he could put more work towards it. Like I feel like it's, I feel like it's ridiculous that like Super didn't know what drivers in it, and he.
I didn't know what drivers were in it.
Well, yeah, but like that's not. It's not like you're. He gave you this. You like. It's not too much to find out. You literally pop him a message, say, "Hey Ken, how many drivers in your IEM?" Right? It's not that hard, right? I just thought it's ridiculous that he made an hour-long video and say, "Oh, I don't know, it's 4BA because Precock told me it's 4BA." I'm like, well,
that was his first mistake. He listened to Precock.
Well, yes, but like still, it's like the guys in the like the person who designed the IEM and knows in and out of the IEM. Like Ken's in the server with you, just like, hey, pop him a message, like, hey Ken, how many? I had your IEM.
I didn't even do that, man.
I have a few questions.
I didn't even do that though, man. I didn't.
But how hard can it be? It's like, hey,
it can't be. You're right. I think it's because so coming from my perspective on that, right? And I'm gonna defend Super. I'm gonna defend Super on this. I'm defending.
No, that's fucking bullshit.
Because I love you too, man. Come on. But like, I think for that, like, I think you get it coming from my space, right? Like I get in the zone. And I start just filming and going, and I don't. So here's another thing. If you don't know, like, I don't script. I don't script. I don't have any. I generally have an idea of what I'm going to talk about in my videos, and then I just start talking. So that's why my videos are the way they are. They're probably ADHD to the 9th degree, but like, it's hard, man. Like you focus in, and you start talking, you start going, you're filming.
You're not getting any talking points from Symphonium. You're not getting talking points from Ken. You're literally messaging him, hey, how much it costs? How many drivers in it? I just want to make sure so I get the factual information correct.
But see, that's right, and I can't talk about Super about in this part. But for me, that's why I avoid the technicalities in all my stuff, and
you're not avoiding anything. You're just getting the facts straight.
Well, that's why I'm saying, like, why I don't even. I'm like, I point to the.
Voice. Why would there be a hesitation in his voice when he's like, "Well, I think it's 4BA because Precock told me." I'm like,
I didn't see the video, man. I haven't seen the video. But what I'm trying to say, like for me.
Just think like there shouldn't really be like a question like when it comes like it's not like, oh, I think I like it. No, it's like, oh well, it's 4BA. It's like he didn't put extra drivers in your unit.
It's hard.
It's not.
But I think so. Here's my thing: is like I don't want to. I don't know. For me, I just start talking about what I'm hearing in my experience. So I can't speak for Super. I think he's a genuine dude.
So,
And so then so speaking of the technical side of the house, that's part of the reason why I just point to the website and say, like, I'm not going to list on my video all the tech specs. I think that's just, like, that's filler to me. Like, so to me, like, I'd rather just point to the direction of the website, and people that they're interested properly can click on the link and read the spec sheet for themselves. Like, I don't think regurgitating the specs to the viewer, I think, is, like, that's just... And this is no slight or at
that point, how do you gonna have an hour-long video?
I don't. But see, and it's easy. I mean, we're already at an hour and 44 minutes, and my wife's probably gonna kill me. But like,
tell your viewers that this IEM that you're not even sure what the fucking driver's in there for, and it's not, and you don't even know how much it costs. Maybe $1,000, maybe $1,200. And at the end of the video, and at the end of the hour, you say, "Well, maybe I probably prefer my Moondrop S8."
Oh, I didn't say that.
And I probably prefer my Moondrop S8. You know why? Because I'm feeding my audience bullshit. Because your audience fucking mid-5 buying Chi-Fi piece of shit who has no money that cannot fucking pull $1,200 out of their asshole to buy a fucking Helios.
And this is why we love you, Rush. This is why we love you. This right here, this. And see, if I can't handle this, that's what I'm talking about. Like this is how I know. Like if you can't handle the Rush, then you shouldn't be on the
I just think it's disingenuous when you're, again, like it's not even again.
But is it disingenuous though? Because I mean I don't say that. Like I barely know the name and numbers.
I don't care. But he's not even supposed to review the IEM to begin with. Precog slot him in the review tour. And then he did, knowing very little information about the IEM, and then shits on it and compared to his SA. Again, I am declaring my bias here. I'm very biased.
Ken you are very biased. Ken's good people, man. Ken's good people.
Very good friend of mine. Yeah. And that's why I'm so angry about it, right? So I just don't think that it's fair to anybody.
Unless they give me an S+ rating, it's not fair.
No, I just think that when you're gonna review something, even though that you got slotted into the tour, you should just know for sure how many BA in this instead of asking precog is in there.
Well, like I said, first mistake was asking precog, but I almost said the other word, his other name. But like I think, but how much of a service was it by allowing him to have that for his audience, for them to be exposed to that audience? That's not true. That's just not true.
Nope, it's zero. I can tell you this right now: none of his audience bought the Helios. Zero.
You don't think so?
Because
you know what?
Good. You know what? The SA is a better IEM. Because you know what? The SA is a better IEM. The Super Review is the precog version of me. Because like
he stole your trademark too. He stole your trademark.
The rhetoric is it's not VXO's bad. So when you
so it's not U12T. It's not SA.
It's bad. And then you go another step lower. It's not SA is bad.
He actually asked. He's like, is it a 4BA? What is it?
But it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter because he had a question at the end of it.
Yeah. Why would you? Okay. Well. Ooh, that was an angry topic. Why that came to me? This is why you should never talk to the audience, because some people triggered me a lot.
Weeb audio companies canceled. So I actually had that. Like I should go grab it. I don't even know which one it is. I'm horrible. Going back to
the ambient sound thing. I'm actually super interesting about that.
The sound thing.
Yeah, ambient sound, great. You're going to tour. Okay. But not about that. So you've been to Can Jam before, right? Or is this your first Can Jam?
No, I've been to Can Jam before.
Okay, which one did you been to?
SoCal. Well, my wife's family's down from SoCal, so we made an easy trip.
It's kind of convenient for you, but not this recent year, right?
No, not this recent one.
No, okay.
That's a different controversy.
So like, so correct me if I'm wrong. There's like a stereotype, right?
For what?
People that go to Can Jam.
So here's the thing with Can Jam. In my experience, Can Jam is fun for like 2 hours, and then it's like, and?
like you're not in fucking Orange County, at least. Like that's a
at least
ghetto.
Yeah, and New York's cool. Like
you're in New York City, which is just as a piece of dump, and the rats are like 5
true story.
times the size.
They're massive.
Like raccoon-sized rats.
No joke. I remember last time I was in New York City, dude. I remember getting off the subway and looking over, and there was this, I thought, small dog pulling a New York pizza slice. So New York pizza slices are like massive, and it was like just pulling it down the sidewalk, and I'm like, God, that's a weird looking. Oh, that's a rat. Rats should not be that big.
We always have our distasteful for New York people and rats.
Oh, so the one I have, the purple one, it's the IKKOOHO2IEM and gift bag. I don't know what that, but it's purple. It's beautiful.
Back to the Can Jam thing.
Okay, Can Jam. Go ahead.
I think there's a stereotype
of Can Jam.
Right, and you fit into it like perfectly, right? That's why.
Bald white guy with beard and tattoos.
No. Like buff white guy. Or scrawny Asian dudes.
I will say this. No joke. So what?
The demographic of people who goes to Can Jam are buff white dudes or scrawny Asian man. And sometimes you get scrawny white guys and buff Asian dude. I'm talking about the Empire Year owner. He is a buff Asian dude.
Seb's a big dude. Precog's a pretty big dude, right?
See, that's why I say sometimes you get scrawny white guys and buff Asian dude. See?
No, I think most of them are the short and kind of, but whatever.
I think you'd be great, like man in an Amston sound booth. Be like, don't touch that. Slap their hands out of the amp.
I even got business cards. I'm pretty
That's cute. Can you show it?
Yeah, let me see if I can grab one quick. The loud ass freaking thing. Oh, it's the Leah. Come here. So the IM that I have, God, I need a new chair. My chair sucks. It's the Leah is the IM I have that I'm going to be doing probably a video next week on. And I think I will agree with most people. Wow, this box is like really
You made you
open.
business cards?
No, I did. Because I was doing a logo. I did a logo refresh. That's the TE.
Oh, you made yourself your own business cards.
Yeah.
That's kind of boring.
It's kind of cool.
Whoa, that's too fancy.
Is it even like focusing? It's probably not.
Does it even have any of your personal information on it? It's just a picture.
It has on the back. It has my. God damn, that's not wanting to focus. Is this focusing?
That's way too professional for me.
It's got my Instagram and YouTube, and it has like my graphic, and my Tempest Daiquiri rum, which is time devours all.
Now that I don't have a job anymore, now that I'm a hobo.
There's a difference between a hobo and a is it drifter, or there's a couple different, like hobo is someone that will work, but
I don't have a job anymore.
But you're willing to work.
I feel like business cards such a like old school thing.
It is very old school. So I'm also gonna I need to build it out, but I'm gonna do it on my phone. Oh, by the way, check out this cool ass phone case. Even though it's now blue because I put it into a pair of pants apparently that I thought were washed but were not washed, so they got the blue on them. So disappointing. But it's got the little moon guy. It's cool. Anyways, so what I'm trying to do is I want to do the QR code.
QR code?
We just sync it and then
all your stuff on it?
Yeah. So I'm gonna do that too.
That's what I feel like. Like I have never like when I had a job, I had business cards, and then like I never really used them until I go to like other places.
Conventions really is the only purpose for them. Conventions
are
like
I don't even like, but that's like unuseful, like right? Yeah. Do you know the only time I used business cards for? When I was in Japan, and it's not even like business related. Like they have this culture of exchanging business cards, right? And it is so weird because I give them my business cards. It's like, oh, like American, and it was like they're like, oh, that's weird. I'm like, yeah that is weird. We really shouldn't.
And like even super just like because I don't have my phone number. I just have my my YouTube, Instagram, email, and so it's more just for like collaborations and just I don't know.
I can't even like to know. I think like whoever people needs to.
Yeah,
so if you want to do a podcast, we can
two-handed exchange. Yeah, or like to build that like, hey, communicate so we can discuss having a podcast.
Exchange DMs and talk about how I want to yell at you for an hour about how you did the Helios at the service. Sorry, I got everything I want to say already.
Yeah, but so moisture actually, like I would love to go back to Singapore.
That's not moist. That's you know who that is. That's Miji from Discord.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, now we don't answer the dirty Singaporeans. We don't like Singaporeans here. It's like they're not.
I
American,
love Singapore. Oh man, I'd go back to Singapore in a heartbeat.
You know when you speak Chinese and like English, like you just pick one, but they can't speak neither, so it's just kind of like.
It's just
They get really angry about that, by the way. You see,
I love Singapore.
As a Chinese American, I just wish they pick one language and speak it correctly.
Jesus. But no, like, so I dude, like, serious, no joke, dude. Singapore was one of my favorite places. So my top, like, some of my top favorite places I've been is Singapore and Australia, are some of my two top places.
Singapore is one of the worst places I've ever been to. I've been there for twice for a business trip. It's absolutely worse because it's always been the summer. I feel like I'm sweating.
Oh, hot as hell. Yeah, that's fair. I've only been when it was like spring, fall, so it was like not horrible.
Okay, so first of all, going through Changi Airport does not dictate going in Singapore.
No, like we were there. We were there for like a week. It was great. I enjoyed it a lot. The funny thing part was that I thought was crazy is that all the underground like walkways that are all AC, like, and then all the little shops in the underground.
Yeah,
like,
because if you don't, you'll probably like suffocate to death. Like it's like waterboard. If you walk outside, like outdoors, you're waterboarding yourself. That's what fucking Singapore is.
Instantaneous, just drenched. I've been like that. So
like again, like imagine being a white guy and big. Like that's like no. Like you should be banned from Singapore during the summer.
So
like, if you're over 200 pounds and not Chinese, you shouldn't go to Singapore during the summer because you will smell like a wet chicken. That's a Roots reference, by the way.
So I've been to South Carolina for a law enforcement training camp, right? In the middle of summer.
Like,
it was horrible, dude. Like, so in the middle of summer too. So it was like super humid, super hot. And I'm wearing like full law enforcement gear. Like we're talking bulletproof vest, full get up, right? And you'd walk outside of the AC'd like we'll call them dorm rooms, right? As soon as you stepped outside, it was like instantaneous, just sweat, and like it was god awful. But that's how I view Singapore. Like that, you just instantaneously, you're soaked. I'm
just kidding. I love Singapore. Singapore is a great city. Hate the people.
I love Singapore.
Like, awful, shady as fuck.
The expats. The expats are kind of weird. I agree.
I hate especially Joseph Mo. He's a fucking Asian monkey.
Jesus, dude.
That was a joke. That's what HB say. That's what HB called Joseph Mo of Jomo Trinity. I'm just kidding. I'm not racist against Singapore. Except for Joseph Mo. He's a fucking Asian monkey. Oh, I love it.
But no, I loved Singapore. I'd go to Singapore again. I loved it. We had a blast.
Favorite Singaporean IEM?
Helios.
Thank you. That's the right answer. I'm just kidding. It's the Jomo. It's a Jomo Flamingo. Actually, still. No, actually, sorry, my bad. It's the Dita Dream. Sorry. So many good Singaporean IEMs. I'm just kidding. I hate the fucking place.
Is it Kren's in Singapore, right? Is that right?
Yeah, he's in Singapore. How can you not tell from the?
So I'd say Kren X KZ is the best one, then, right?
Well, go fuck yourself. What was I getting at? Oh, so you're. So that's like end of this month.
Yeah, end of the month. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm pretty excited because it's going to be. Because I was really looking forward to going. I was supposed to go to SoCal one, this most recent one, but then just life stuff happened and obviously COVID stuff, and it was like not worth the risk at the time. But now with everything happening the way it is, I'm pretty stoked. So be pretty stoked. Yeah.
You guys gonna have everything over there, like the full lineup?
I think he's gonna have the Garth that I have here right now. I'm actually shipping that out probably tomorrow or the next day.
Or just bring it with you.
Well, we're discussing that. So I'm either I'm going to take it in the case with me on the airplane, or
shipping it's going to be more than $60.
Yeah, and it's going to be So we'll see. But then, so either I'm going to do that or shipping it, but we'll see. But so the Garth 2.0, which isn't even released yet. This is still the final. This is like the first.
Kind of like a Kangen launch thing, right? Are you guys like?
Well, kind of. That's how he's doing. Yeah, that's how he's doing it a little bit. And then also the new Red October, which is the Nautilus with 300B, and then he just got a. So
Isn't
it's
that
going
the
to
one
be.
with all the kind of plugs? Oh, do they all have that?
Yeah, it's like it's his total amp. So it's his top of the line.
Impedance, right? With
yeah,
all
the
plugs, different
crazy
impedance.
one. It's the one that's.
I think I've seen that before. That's really nice.
The Nautilus is his. I think it's around 10 grand or roughly around that 10 grand marker. So it's expensive. It's an expensive amp, but it's his 300B. But he's actually got. There was a thing that happened where he actually has the Red October, which is the Nautilus, is a variation of the Nautilus, and he's gonna have. So basically, there's gonna be 3 different Nautiluses now. He's gonna have the baseline Nautilus, the 300B Nautilus, which is the Red October, and then another version of the Red October, which will be 2A3, which is a different tube. It's like basically like a baby 300B tube. So that's gonna be kind of interesting. So
Nautilus is the one with all the ports on front, right?
Yeah, and it's the
and then it has all the impedance up front.
Yeah,
right?
up front instead of on the top. Instead of on top, it's all on the front. Yeah.
You know what? I think if anybody never get anything out of this, I think is that everybody should go try that amp. I think impedance matching is probably like
it's definitely a way to go.
I think I believe in impedance matching, and I think like you should like it's like infinitely playability. Obviously, I don't think once you settle on one thing, you're never gonna change it ever again. But I think that if you have different headphones, I think that amp was actually definitely something very special, just in terms of like its design. I think I was like, oh well, that's really cool. You can you can physically impedance match your headphones,
all of
which
them.
is like, except it costs $10,000.
It's really expensive. But all of his amps have that though. Like even the Agartha has a low Z, a 16,
it has like less option, like right, because the Red October is like the Nautilus is like what?
It's all balanced too. It's all balance based, and I think it's balance based.
You should know. It has like 8 options, doesn't it? So like,
I've never heard the Nautilus. So this will be the first time of me actually hearing the Nautilus. I've only heard everything. I'm excited to try it.
Oh yeah, I would never return it if you send it to me. I'll tell you that much.
I don't know what happened. I sent it back. I don't know. Weird.
I guess I can send it back, but you did talk shit about my wife, so I think I'm just gonna keep it $10,000 amp. If you want anything, Tyler have to come to my house and rip it out of my cold man, which is pretty easy, I guess. But yeah, so I'm excited for that, and then I'm excited for. Honestly, the thing I'm most excited about this Can Jam is because this will be the first time I'm going to a event as this YouTube thing, right? Or as a I don't like calling a reviewer, man. Creator? But like as a content creator, like as a person that's in it for that space, right? Are you trying to promote your thing at Can Jam? Does Ju allow that? Does Ju let you?
I've actually met Jude a couple times. Jude's actually a pretty chill guy. Actually, I like Jude. Every time I met him, he's been pretty chill.
I mean, whatever. I don't want to say anything about my own brother. But yeah, say what you will. As a man who lives in Michigan, no Chinaman in their right mind lives in Michigan. That's what I'm saying.
Is he live in Michigan now? No. He lives in LA. I thought he was in LA. Am I totally off?
I don't know. Maybe he's rich enough to live in LA.
Multiple places. I don't know.
Yeah. Headfire's a really no. I like you. He's a great guy. Yeah, I like him. He's Chinese. I enjoyed him. He's a great guy. He went to the QVC factory. Great. I enjoyed that review.
Therefore, he came over. He's officially in the Rush gang.
Yeah. No, like
I don't know. I'm gonna have like these little business cards out on the amps and sound thing, but I'm not trying to like be like, But
are you excited about telling fucking little kids about showing your amps and then telling you that it's too expensive?
Probably.
Are you excited about that?
Yeah.
How much does it cost?
If you have to ask, then it's too much.
If you have to ask, you can't. Hey, you know what? Hey. For the duration of Can Jam New York, you are allowed to use my trademark phrase, loyalty free, the Rush Pro tip. Just
I didn't get a sign. This is the Rush.
When some 14-year-old kid sits down in front of your $10,000 Nautilus and they plug their fucking Audio Technica M30X into your fucking $10,000 amp, and he plugs into that. Oh, this sound good. How much that cost? You'd be like, kid, that'll be $10,000. You'd be like, oh, that's too expensive. Then you just hit him with that. let me hit you with that Rush Pro tip. He's like, what is that? You put out
Phil knows, dude. Phil knows.
Just don't be poor.
Phil knows, dude. Like so the Can Jam SoCal I went to, like, so not the one that he probably went to, but like I was there. It was the one before the most recent one, so it was like 2 years difference. And dude, no joke, dude. There was like these kids rocking around with backpacks, and inside their backpacks they had portable amplifiers that could power the not the SR1A. What's the one that's competitive to SR1A that has like the ear flaps? God, I can't even think of them. But they're the what the hell are they called? Anyways, but they had those, and they basically go on your head. They fit super awkward, and they had those. So they had basically like $20,000 worth of like amplifiers, DACs, and headphones in their backpacks, and they were all walking around with like flip flops, like these weird like I don't know, dude. It's just like
I don't mean to be racist. They're probably Chinese, right?
They were. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were. Yeah.
It's a Chinese thing to do. It's a very Chinese thing to do. I mean, like
it was very meme worthy. I will say that. Like, and I remember just being like, man, these kids are hilarious. Like they were. I mean, but they were dead serious, and it was like, hey, gotta give it to them. They were pretty funny, man. They were pretty funny kids. But that's the thing was they were kids. Like these were kids. Like you're joking.
That's but like more money than sense. That's like that. That's like that thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. Maybe I'll go. I don't know. Plane ticket's awful right now.
Not too horrible. I think the hardest part will be just like it. I think the most expensive thing is gonna be like hotels, but even then, that's not horrible at the end of the day, right?
I'll live with somebody else. That's easy.
I mean, yeah. So I think I'm gonna be staying with Justin. So I think we're gonna do like I'm gonna stay with Justin. We're gonna do that hangout, and then basically. Basically it's gonna be like I'm going there as a work thing.
Yeah, that's nice. I'm excited for you.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked to see how that pans out, and then also Justin has all the contacts in the community as well. So it'd be nice to be able to be introduced to those folks as well. So we'll see how it goes.
Is that something you're gonna try to do in the future?
What's that?
Like just like
communicating. So this is what I'd like to do. Like my goal for my channel, my main goal would be to do live streams, or not necessarily live streams, but the interviews. Like have people, like the ZMF thing I did, right? Where it's let's talk to these people as they are. They're people, and
But at the same time, you can't really talk to Justin without being biased, right? Because you work for him. At least like you had worked for him.
I mean, I guess you could look at it that way. But I mean, if you've ever met Justin, you'd actually like Justin.
Well, probably would. I'm sure he's a great guy, and I'm sure he makes great amps. Because if you make something that's $10,000, it better be fucking good.
But I mean, at the same time, like I think that
Okay, how about this? I'll give you that. Like, enough about you. Like, what headphones are you guys? Like, obviously, like people bring their own headphones to try your amp, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do you know what kind of headphones Justin is bringing to his little booth?
I think he's gonna have. I'm assuming some kind of planar of some sort. He'll probably have the Rad Zeros. He'll probably have Rads.
Disgusting. Okay, keep going.
And then I'm pretty sure he'll have something for. He might have a ZMF or two.
Mm-hmm.
He'll probably have the HD800s. I'm assuming.
Okay, fine. That's what everybody has.
Yeah, everyone has that as a baseline. And then I think probably what else would he have? He'd probably be having. I don't know, man. Maybe the Ethers, the Ether 2s, maybe. But we'll see.
Why not? You need to tell Justin right now.
Mm-hmm.
Go out there. He needs to buy a pair of ADX 5000.
Maybe.
Got him.
I still need to hear those.
I think you need an impedance match ADX 5000. I think that honestly that's what I'm curious about, because it's 300 ohms. So if you can impedance match that, it would be great.
I still need to hear those. I think I was close to hearing them at one point, and then I dissolved.
We're not going to talk about that story.
Yeah,
maybe story for another time.
Another time,
I think it'll be exciting. You going to working just for like a little day or two for amps and sounds.
Yeah, and then also for building those relationships. I think it's gonna be fun.
Have time to walk around yourself, or is it just like at the booth?
So basically, what I'll do, like Joe, what we're gonna do it is half days. So Justin said he'll for half the day.
Oh, okay. So you don't need two people to man the booth at the same time.
Yeah, just half day it, and then. But I mean, that's brutal. Have you ever been to a Can Jam or a meet like?
Oh, I think it's disgusting.
There's that. But
I mean, like, why would I walk next to white people? That's disgusting.
Because it's we smell delicious. Yeah, Mountain Dew and Domino's pizza farts. They're amazing. I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, like, I think, like, you know, I mean, like, I don't mean to discriminate. This is the pre. I'm about to say something very racist. I'm not quite fond of the Western audiophile community.
It's unique, I mean, but we're all unique. We all have our unique flavors and tastes.
Yeah, but like it's like it's really like, eh. I mean,
see,
like,
actually, know what we need to do? We need to get a Phil phone in there. That's what we should have.
I don't think that's allowed, but you know. Yeah. Well, Phil's gonna be there. I think.
Yeah, he's gonna be there. He's in New York City, Kansas.
Yeah, I think he's bringing the Helios that he had with him. So.
Oh, nice.
So let's. Yeah. So let's
Very
see what
cool.
happens there. Not that it matters.
What's the other one that they're dropping soon? What's that one?
What do you mean?
Not the Helios, but what's the other one that does come
Oh,
out?
you mean whatever Ken is releasing?
Yeah, the next one.
Yeah, good luck with that one. Yeah.
I didn't sign up for that. I didn't sign up for that tour, so I don't know.
I don't think you're allowed to sign up for it. It's whoever Ken picks.
Oh, gotcha. I'll just steal it from Ant. I'll just be like, "Hey, Ant, let's meet up. I want to hear that," and then I'll just teach.
Yeah, that's assuming if he's getting it. That's assuming anybody's getting it. Do you think Ken trusts me with $4,500 in my hand? I'll be like, well, what are you gonna do about it, Ken? I'm just gonna keep it.
You just get him on your show, and then you'll just do this the whole time. You'll just be like,
exactly. Like, it's mine now. What are you gonna do? No, that's not. I don't think. I think whatever he said is like down the line. Like, you know, whatever. It's not gonna be at New York. Whatever.
Yeah. I'm excited. I think it's gonna be fun because it's a different. I think New York's a different vibe too. Like, I mean, obviously East Coast versus West Coast,
city,
but
like, you know, the Big Apple. I do enjoy New York.
See, last time I was in New York, I'm not a big fan actually. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Last time I was in New York, I had coffee thrown on me by a random stranger.
That's part of experience in New York.
That's also true.
See, here's a pro tip in New York, right? Never leave Lower Manhattan.
First mistake I made. That's fair.
First mistake, leaving Manhattan is like you're just slumming it with the plebs.
So no joke, you're like
I can say when I had a job, I used to go to New York twice a month, and I have never left Manhattan.
That's fair.
I have never taken a subway. Oh, I think it's sorry, my bad. I have taken the subway once and never again.
Yeah, like
I live walking distance away from work.
So for me, I was like, where was that? I was standing away. You know, you've seen the crowds, like New York City sidewalk crowd, right? It's there's a flow, and so I stood outside of the flow. I was literally standing on the curb, away from the flow. Like no one should be coming near me at all, right? Like I was away from the flow, and I was like just looking at the scenes or whatever. And this person just slams into me, like full on sprint,
really hard, and killed the guy.
Well, that's part of it. Wasn't a dude, so it was a lady, and
did you punch her? Like I'm a feminist, so I have equal opportunity. So regardless of gender, you should have punched them. I guess that's the right.
So what it happened? They were like, you ran into me. By the way, I'm literally standing still, like I'm standing on the curb.
You run into people without moving. Do you not know how big you are?
And But that's what happened.
If I bump into you in the elevator, it's your fault, even though that you're standing.
And that's what happened. And then I was like, "What
You're in people's way. You're constantly in people's way. You're like that dog that got too big. Do you know how you have a dog and then it still thinks it's like 1 year old, except it's like giant now, so you still sit on your lap.
It's a 70-pound dog that tries to jump into your lap. And you're like,
I was like, Tyler, you're kind of in my way. And you're like, no, I'm not. I'm still 10 pounds.
Yeah. So that's what happened. And then
you didn't punch her in the face?
No, and then she ran away because like my buddy I was with was he's good friends with a bunch of New York cops, so he's like, hey, if you want to have this problem, I'm gonna call my buddy who's the New York cop over there, and she was like, no, and she ran away, and so then
I think it's a problem that you're literally 3 times her size.
Well, that's the thing, like it was like she was definitely like she was small, and she like full on like her head butted my sternum, like it was like I was like what just happened, like what, and like. Anyway, so then about 2 blocks later, so then we started walking, and 2 blocks later, all of a sudden I have this just hot coffee just dumped all over the back of me, like as I'm walking.
And people hate you, Tyler. You're such a nice guy.
Like, I was like, what just happened? Like, and so when it happened, she had stolen somebody's coffee because there's a guy following her, yelling, "Yeah, my coffee!" And she'd grabbed somebody's coffee, ran the block or two down to chase us down to throw the coffee at me, and then ran away.
I love it.
It was like,
I never had that problem before. You know what? I've been in New York so many times and never have anything stolen.
Yeah, right?
And I never have anybody who asks me for money.
Oh, that's
and
impressive.
I never have any hecklers. Do you know why?
Why's that?
Do you know why, Tyler? Because I'm a tiny Asian dude. They know. You know why? You know why you think this guy's not a fucking tourist? He came out of fucking Chinatown. He ain't gonna give me money. He got no money.
I mean, I did stand out. I had a nice. I had to talk, and so I did. I had a nice.
Like, Chinatown's a block up. I'm like, no, I'm just here to work. He's like, you don't work here. Chinatown's up there.
I did. I was wearing a nice. I was wearing at the time. I was wearing a suit with a nice overcoat and all that fun stuff.
You ever try being less white, Tyler?
That's fair.
Be more Asian and be less white. They've got like Chinatown's the other way, guy.
I think now I have the beard, so I mean I'll do the beard, the bald head. Well, it'll be cold, so we'll see. But yeah, at least I'll have that.
Oh, I enjoy New York City. It's a great city. Like
I really did. Lots of culture. I love that.
The hobos are awful.
That's everywhere though, man.
No. You know what? New York City hobos are like definitely the worst hobo. I think like again like conservatism, like put on my necktie, channel my inner Tucker Carlson. You know, my favorite Fox News presenter, by the way. Like homelessness is definitely a big problem, by the way. But like New York City definitely have the worst.
Have you been to Oregon, Portland, or Seattle?
No. You know why? The worse the weather, the more aggressive the hobo.
That's fair. Well, but
it sucks. You know why? Because it sucks. They have to like put their little camps on the fucking like the subway.
You should see. And
Seattle, the city hates them, and it's like you don't see. Well, I mean, I haven't been to Seattle in like a few years, but I can't comment.
I mean, the tent cities is pretty bad.
I thought they shipped them out in like trains to a camp or something. I definitely did compare Jeff Bezos to it.
Jesus Christ.
Well, no, like I think like NYC would be great. I think like I'm excited. Like I'm excited for you, even though I'm not going.
Like I'm not taking much with me. That's the crazy part. Like so, I'll be probably taking I'm going to probably do my photo camera. I won't take my video camera, and I'll probably take. What I might do is my.
Are you gonna do some content for
I might try and see what I can do with my iPhone. I might try and do like a
vlog thing. You're gonna be like, this is Tyler Leckick here. We're vlogging.
Like subscribe. No, I'm gonna probably do something though. I'll try to do some shorts or something, and then do. I don't know. We'll see.
I think you should. I think you should like do like a little music in the background. Walk around. I'll do like the iPhone, like an iPhone type. That's like low. That's like no. That's boring. That's like low production quality.
It'll be super low production. I'm debating whether to take my laptop or not. Might just take my iPad. We'll guerrilla warfare this stuff. Guerrilla news reporting style.
I think it'd be great. Like I think like you should try some different things. I don't know what's gonna be there because how the Corona thing, and then they have like a big restriction in New York City. It's a very liberal city. Who's in charge now? Eric Adams. Eric Adams, great mayor. Yeah,
well,
brother.
I have one of those. I do have one of those action cameras. The ones that are like you put on the stick and it makes the stick disappear. What's that one?
Yeah. Those are cool.
I have that. I can do that. Maybe I'll bring that because that's tiny. That's something I haven't played with it yet. But I mean, I literally bought this thing to do some random video shoots and I never used it. Horrible waste of money.
Made you say do TikTok? You can do TikTok?
Yeah. I have a TikTok, but it's stupid whiskey stuff mostly. But yeah.
Okay.
That's like
so.
Fair enough.
We're gonna end this. This is gonna be the last topic.
Okay, last topic. Let's go. Hit me, or I hit you. What do you want to do?
It's gonna be a short one.
Okay.
Oh God, you're gonna hate this.
Okay, go.
So I watched your second anniversary stream, right?
Okay.
I as a feminist.
Mm-hmm.
That was a joke. You're supposed to laugh.
Because
I don't like real women, obviously.
Well, I'm just a lesbian trapped in a man's body, so I mean, I can't.
I find it extremely offensive that you say that it's weird that women can be into whiskey.
Oh Jesus!
Got you there.
There's so many. Actually, that's actually one of my shows I'm going to start doing. I'm actually going to do some live streams, hopefully.
I think it's disgusting that you think that women cannot be alcoholics.
No, I'm actually literally doing a series of streams where I'm going to do women that are into whiskey, and it's a thing. It's going to be amazing.
Why, is that a man thing? Is that a man thing?
What?
I mean, like, okay, so how about this? Like, you have the two people on the stream, a person who barely qualifies as a man, and a person who is actually a man. I'll let the viewer decide who's who between the two of us. Drinking whiskey. Are you trying to say that a drinking whiskey is like a man-only hobby? Because
no.
I'll tell you right now, you're the pussy right here, and I'm the real man between the two of us.
No, I'm really excited about this. Actually, I'm working on getting a no joke.
Yeah, that's like
Red Rocket.
No, that's like fucking unintentional sexism.
Why?
Because like, oh, I'm gonna have these ladies on and talking about how they love whiskey. Well, I mean, like,
because it's gonna be awesome. Because there is a problem there. Because there is actually whiskey actually has a very big problem where it's very male dominated.
There is no. You can be be an alcoholic.
You can totally be an alcoholic and be a lady. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, exactly. So like, why do you have to make it?
Oh no, like, but I'm saying, like, as far as like the appreciation of whiskey, like, there is a serious
woman can not appreciate whiskey.
No, I think they can. They definitively can. That's what I'm trying to highlight. I want to highlight these women that are actually doing. Why do you have to
highlight them? Because they have vaginas. Like, why is this special? Like, like. I think this a hobby, right?
It is a hobby. Well, it's just like audio. Like, how many women are in audio that actually hide behind not being like? I mean, I've come across a lot of women in the audio hobby.
I get you there.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those things that you're good at. This is what I'm talking about. Like, if I can't handle this conversation, like, I shouldn't be on the internet. But like,
I just don't think alcoholism, or enjoying whiskey, whatever the fuck you want to call it, right? I call it alcoholism, and obviously I'm not invited to this podcast because I am a feminist.
Well, so like for me, so what it is, I'm trying to highlight the fact that there are like women are in our hobbies. Women are in our hobbies. They are in our hobbies. They are severely discriminated against on there in our hobbies, like all the different hobbies. They really are. And so what I'd like to do is highlight that they're just as passionate, just as valuable in the hobbies, just like they're fantastic people.
Who's there to not?
You'd be surprised, man. There's some really toxic people in a lot of our hobbies, as you well know.
No, like, getting drunk is not a fucking specialty for men.
No.
I mean, the only difference is that men on average get drunk less quick because they're hevier on average.
Potentially.
But then that comes out of a fucking Chinaman that weighs 140 pounds.
Well, let's remove the drunken factor. We're removing the drunken factor. We're going to go into the actual passionate, I'm not talking about being drunk. I'm talking about people that actually really are passionate about this. And there's this weird misconception that if you're a lady in any way, shape, or form, that you can't be passionate about a hobby, which is stupid. It's the stupidest thing.
Somehow the gender that you're born with, you can't enjoy whiskey,
right? Like, not me. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying there's a group of
so there's nothing
people.
To highlight, right? There's nothing special to highlight. It's just you drinking.
Okay, fine. I'm going to have a show where I'm drinking and talking whiskey with ladies. There you go.
No, I don't think the fact that they're ladies should be affected with like that. I don't think that should even be mentioned.
I'm not going to. No, I'm not going to make it that. Like, I'm not going to highlight it as like that.
But the fact that you already did is the fact that you're sexist, right? So I'm the feminist here.
Oh, man. I believe you're so hard to. You're so hard to.
I'm an equal opportunist. That I believe that everybody can be alcoholic. Depends whether or not.
100%. I don't give a rat's ass if you're blue, green, purple, whatever sex you are. Like what?
Got you there, bitch.
You did. You always give me all these things, dude. But like, I wouldn't be.
It's hilarious. I think it's hilarious that
It is. It's stupid. It's so stupid. That's why I think it's funny. It's so stupid. Like it's.
So you think the podcast is not funny? That you're drinking with a woman? Am I putting words in your mouth?
You are.
Sorry,
a little bit.
I'm sorry. That was bad. That was
no,
bad.
but no, you're fine though. But it's fine, like because it is. But see, this highlights.
That was a work thing.
But it does highlight it though, like to some level, right? Like it's just ridiculous.
This is a better general. I think what you're trying to do is to break the stereotype.
Yeah, break the stereotype. Exactly.
Of that, the fact that you're female, you can also enjoy the things that.
Yeah, like it's so dumb.
Which is also sounds really sexist.
It is really sexist. I think that's the problem, though. Sexism is a stupid thing. Racism is stupid. Like they're all.
Women should be able to play in the NBA, right?
100%. Let's do this.
Oh, got it there.
Let's do this. No, fuck it. Let's do it. Like honestly, I think if you can perform at the, it doesn't matter. Like as long as you're performing at the levels that is acceptable in those situations, then yeah, who gives a shit whatever. Oh, sorry, I cursed. But like I think that's important. Like I think that's a thing that we should highlight. Like I don't think there's any freaking.
So here's the person, right? I'm gonna read a comment. I'm gonna say a very politically incorrect statement. This nice person say we could tie this to less women in a large scale with enough money to pursue hobbies over their own survival in the harsh USA economy. Okay.
That's a lot to take in.
There's not. Would you like my very politically incorrect?
No, not really. I mean, you're gonna give it to it anyways. I mean, I think. This isn't just USA though. This is across the board, man. Like at the end of the day.
Do you know why woman gets paid less?
Sexism. You're gonna say something really inappropriate, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Because when you are a working female at the prime, which is in your maybe like end of 20s or when you're hitting 30, you have a decision to make, and that is the time where you graduate college and make the most money, right? So, what's the decision that you have to make during that time? Should I have a kid or not?
Have a kid or not? Yeah. That is a factor. I mean, my wife is a high performing. You could say executive in the executive business space.
But not everybody is like that, right?
No, but not everyone's like that. But she gets it though.
So for you, you just have to pop a nut, and then it's like,
yeah,
job done, right? For her, it's like, ah.
That's a year out of your life that you just have to now figure out.
It's like growing in your fucking stomach for fucking 9 months.
And there's a lot of bias, and there's a lot of discrimination.
I'm not gonna say that. There's certain tasks that you can perform when you're having a thing in your body, as Dr. House would say it, a blood draining tumor in your body, like another life, right? Depends on you're a Republican or not.
Oh my god! But yeah, I mean, that is a factor though. But it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be though.
Whether or not you have to have a kid or not.
But that shouldn't be a factor. That shouldn't be.
That's one point. You just shouldn't have a kid. It's just fucking stupid.
Oh Jesus! No, like I think that shouldn't be a factor. Like I honestly do think that that's ridiculous.
Well, no, that's not something you have to think about because you just.
I can't relate. Once again, that goes back to what we were talking about, like even with the IM space, or like we were reviewing, like
that's fucking stupid. Why would I have to burden another person for 9 months of their labor, and it's like you're stuck with this fucking piece of shit for another 18 years? That's disgusting. Sorry for you, you have 13 more years to go, right?
Yeah,
but at the same time, like I don't have this like chemical attachment to this fucking thing that you pooped out of your vagina. You know, I just popped a nut. Like, who am I to say like to take care of it or not? So like, yeah, of course they have more decision to make. So like, you know, at the prime of their life, they'd have like, oh, should I ruin my life for this fucking tumor that I have to poop out? Because of another man that I either love or do not love. Yeah, of course they get
so much to unpack. So much to unpack with that. But yeah, like it's really bad. It's like that's and it's really ridiculous.
I'm not gonna say whether or not, like, dude, like if you wanna like not, then just you shouldn't. I'm not having a fucking kid.
Well, that's up to them. That ultimately, I think that's the other factor too. Like that's totally up to them. Like I don't think I should have any say.
Enough about feminism. I hate fucking feminism. It's disgusting. No,
right. But yeah. Anyways, off to the next topic. This is too hot for this, and I've drinking too much. But like, but I do think, yeah, like I think that. Anyways, next topic. I'm too spaced for that. But like.
You're having that whiskey thing. It's great. When is that coming? It's gonna be great.
Hopefully soon. I'm excited just to chat with these people about their hobbies. At the end of the day, that's what it really comes down to. I'm excited to start branching out into the whiskey hobby more, to other hobbies in general, right? Like I'm talking EDC, all that stuff. But whiskey is one I really enjoy, as you know. And so what I would like to do is I'm going to get more guests on that are in that range and in that realm.
I just hate that you don't ever chat about me with whiskey. You don't think I'm a serious whiskey drinker?
You want to have a whiskey too? We'll do it. Like you can talk crap about a whiskey. We'll find a whiskey that we both have, or we can go both get, and that we can do a taste test. How about that? That's what I want to do. That kind of thing. That's what I want to do. Like, and we can discuss it.
Is that something that you're gonna do with the ladies?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's actually what it is.
I'm gonna play the lady. Oh, I like this fruity flavor because it tastes like fruity.
They're not that. They actually are exponentially smarter than I am with it. So like, I can't even.
I'm glad you always play the dumb guy in the cover. Like this is why I was so smart when I talk with you.
Dude, I'm a big dumb animal. I admit it. That's something that I will 100% agree with.
Hey, you know what? I think it's good. Like as much as I want to give you about you chatting with other people about whiskey. As much as I want to get jealous about you drinking with other people, I think it's great. No. You know what? Here's the thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like to give you shit about this hobby, and again, I do get into this whole whiskey thing a lot.
Yeah, and whiskey's fantastic.
There's a lot of sexism involved in this hobby because it's very dominated by men.
Mm-hmm.
And
most things, yeah, men are like big dumb animals.
I wouldn't qualify me as a dude.
Dude.
I'm not the typical person who drinks whiskey, which is kind of like weird, right? I'm like an outlier of people who drinks whiskey.
I don't know. I think you're pretty standard form. I mean, you have your preferences, and you like whiskey. So I mean, I would say, yeah. Why would you not?
Not the dude people think about when they meet me. Yeah, no. Usually, big white dude, like you. No, but I'm saying that I think it's a very like
I think Scotch is classy.
I think I was lied to when they tell me you will grow hair on your chest when you drink Scotch because
hey, there's just genetics. Are you
that's racist. That's racist, Tyler.
How
dare you lie to me about me drinking Scotch and growing hair on my chest? Now you're just telling me that I'm
Sasquatch.
Hair on my chest
I'm
because
Sasquatch.
The color of my skin, Tyler. That's awful. That is awful.
Cheese and rice. I think that Scotch gives character, and I think everyone should try it at least once. And I don't think it matters what the hell anything matters other than it's a thing that everyone can enjoy together. I think it's ridiculous that anyone should feel that they should be excluded.
All right, I'd say the last question. This is the last question, and we're gonna end it after this.
Okay.
How many drinks have you had since the podcast? Have you
been counting? I don't know what you guys saw, but I think this is right about here, so not too bad. But I've had about, I don't know, how many ounces is that?
That's a good amount. That's like a quarter bottle.
Yeah, quarter bottle, maybe. Yeah.
And this is why. And by the way, how long is this? By the way, I don't.
2.5. We're at 2.5 hours, I think.
By the way, this is this is the end of the audio Discourse podcast. This is why I never have Tyler on because it never is how it planned. I'm 5 whiskey in, and you can see which one of us is more drunk. Probably him.
Probably me. I drank a bunch. Well, because there's a certain point where I just can't, I just should keep my mouth shut and just.
Okay, I'm gonna end it right here. One last question.
Let it go.
One last question. If I were to bring you a bottle to Seattle, would you do one of this live?
Yeah. That'd be fun.
You're gonna regret that. All right, this is season 2, episode 10 of the Audio Discourse podcast. Next time I have Tyler on, hopefully I'll be in his house drinking whiskey with him, and that would be very awful, because his wife will hate me forever.
So, just as a clever, my wife is a lawyer. That's what she does.
Yeah, and I don't work anymore, so I don't really care.
Yeah, fair enough.
You can cut the live stream.
All right, cheers. Have a good one. Thanks for having me on, man. It was a good time.
Thanks for having me.
Cheers, everybody. And